Okay, welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is session 2 of our Eclipse Phase starter mission called Mind the WMD. When we last left off, you guys had managed to unleash a Titan nanoswarm. Well, not so much yourselves, but through incident on the barge, which you were looking to buy weapons. A nanoswarm was released. You guys had managed to seal off the barge, separate it from the large scum barge that it had been attached to, moving it away from the barge itself and the swarm of ships around it to protect any other civilians there. And Firewall basically blew up the barge that you were all on with a few nice tactical missiles in order to get rid of the nanoswarm which had been released aboard the ship. In the process, the only character, Laika, who Philip is playing, managed to actually kind of do an emergency ego cast away before the explosion. The other three characters, Gavin, Ellis, and Amir, all basically perished. Well, their morphs all perished on the ship in the explosion. Their cortical stacks were all recovered, however, and you guys will now be re-sleeving in a re-sleeving facility in Elysium on Mars. What we'll do now, that's just the general recap of where we left off. I'll go around you guys once each just to see if you want to introduce yourselves. We'll start with you, Philip.
Hi, my name's Philip. I run the channel Maps and Dragons. I'm sorry, Ian. Are we just introducing like what our character's going through, or what are we doing?
No. Introduce yourself. Introduce your character. Plug any channels or online endeavors that you wish.
Oh.
The whole shebang.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. My name's Philip Posey. I run the channel Maps and Dragons. Today I'm going to be playing a character named Laika. Laika is best described as a saboteur. She spends much of her time infiltrating Hydrocorp society, organizing dissent, and engaging in direct action in an intent to expose or hinder authoritarian social practices. And she has recently just reskinned into a neotonic morph. A neotonic morph is a morph that has a child's-like body.
Yeah, that's going to be fun for Laika. Okay, David, do you want to go next?
Sure. My name's Dave Sims. Got a channel under the same name. I am going to be actually stepping in for another character playing. I'm going to be stepping in for another player playing a character named Gavin Gladwell. And Gavin is a Rustermorph who's described as basically a criminal con artist. Apparently, Gavin has been adapted for survival on the Martian in the Martian environment, which hasn't been fully terraformed. And he's a what's known as a transgenic morph. So he has insulated skin, so he can survive on the surface, and an adaptive respiratory system. So he doesn't need as much oxygen and can filter out carbon dioxide among other things.
Excellent. Okay, and Chepe?
Hi, I'm Chepe. I run the channel Fontrodden, and I am playing Amir, who is a security specialist who has recently been reskinned into a spider morph, a spider tank essentially, an arachnoid morph. He is someone who has been through a lot of rough odds and ends, odd jobs, and is currently working for Firewall, and has a background in both Hispanic cultures and several esoteric Muslim traditions.
Cool. And Andrew, go ahead.
I'm Andrew Knapp. I have a YouTube channel under the moniker SR2 Joker. I will be role-playing Ellis, who was Jamaican accented, had a background as a scum techie, was originally a gate crasher, and ended up getting absorbed into Firewall for special ops. After the last mission went kind of right, kind of wrong, she now finds herself on Mars being reslipped into a different morph, and is very anxious to see what this means for her identity.
Cool. And you're being re-sleeved into a Rustermorph as well, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the Ruster morphs are specialized morphs, I think, pretty much for just survival on the surface of Mars. So we're going to start off with you guys re-entering. Your egos are being sleeved into these new morphs. You're in a receiving facility. You don't actually probably know exactly where you are, aside from the fact, obviously, that you're in a receiving facility. So you'll be laid out, or three of you anyway, would probably be laid out on your backs. Whereas the fourth, the arachnoid morph, I presume, is probably just kind of sprawled on a table, as it were. I don't think you wouldn't turn the arachnoid morph on its back. That'd just be cruel. So you're on cold tables. Just think of kind of like a dark. It's almost more like a morgue than I was gonna say a hospital room, but it's almost like a morgue. You're on a cold slab. Everything's very kind of sterile, dimly lit. The four of you are there, waking up in these new bodies. You all have memories of the last mission since your cortical stacks were retrieved. So you do recall all the events of the previous session. Although, David, I know since you weren't there at the last session, if you want to play off a little bit of amnesia with your character, that's fine too, because you probably have suffered some mental trauma through the transfer and everything anyway. And Gavin wasn't exactly having a good time in the last the last major sequence of that previous session. So, guys, feel free to roleplay any kind of traumas that you wish. So yeah, you're just now kind of waking up in this facility, probably checking out your surroundings, and more importantly, probably checking out your new bodies to try and figure out what kind of morph you're in. We'll go straight on to a little bit of roleplay if you want. I'll tell you what, we'll just to make things easy, I'll say you kind of wake up in order again from right to left. For on my screen, it's probably left to right for everyone else. So Philip will say that Leica is the first to wake. Makes sense since she had ego casted out of her previous morph before it was destroyed.
I have a quick question. Are we all
Yes.
together in the same room?
You are all together in the same room.
Okay, great. So it's all darkness, and this isn't the first time that I've cast out of my body. And I see it on the horizon, this glimmer of light, and it gets closer and closer and closer until I hear the sizzling of static. I feel the rush of blood, the pulsing of capillaries, and my eyes open, almost like you're opening up a door. The first inhale, and I feel it bulging in my throat. I lift my hand up, and it's thin and whispery, and there's a gossamer of skin between my fingertips that, as I pull them apart, separates. And I remove this cord that's going into my throat. And as I pull it up, this bile exits out of my throat, and I look at this thin, frail body of a child. I look down at myself, and I see this clinical room all around me. Retrofitted, stainless steel, fluorescent lights dimly lit the place. I see faces that I've never seen before, but I know that my companions are coming. The last thing I remember, detonation is imminent for the missiles.
Yeah,
I put my hands down to... I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. I'll continue, sorry.
I put my hands down to lift myself up, but I feel the strength fall out of my arms, and my head slams back onto the stainless steel pedestal that I'm on. And I know it's going to be a while until I'm physically fit to get up.
Yeah, it does strike you. One of the first things you take in, you notice there are 3 other bodies on similar tables. There's multiple tables in here. We'll say, there's 8 tables in here, but there are 3 other that are currently occupied. So probably one of the first things that strikes your mind is, okay, this has been kind of planned out in advance. So the whole team is going to be re-sleeved here. After your head hits back on the table and you realize you're not quite strong enough to stand up just yet, the door slides open, and a guy walks in a white lab coat with some thick glasses on. And he walks over, he's holding a clipboard in his hand, and he's walking over and he sees you kind of stirring on your table. And he says, well, you're up early.
My thin, frail fingertips lift up in front of my face, and a broken voice that's kind of hurt from having a cord ripped out of it says, "How long has it been?"
Oh, don't worry. It's only been a couple of hours. Your memory should all be intact. Do you remember what happened?
Yes, I remember what happened. How much information do you have about our mission?
I have very little information. I'm just here to make sure that the resleeving process goes off without a hitch.
I'm feeling dehydrated. Is that normal?
It is. It is. I'll get some refreshment sent down. Do you want water? Anything stronger?
Oh, water is fine, thank you.
Compatriots, do you know their tastes? Should I send anything more down, or?
I think water should be fine for all of them.
Okay, well, I'll organize water for the four. He comes over and he just basically checks a few, readings. There's a little monitor beside your bed, and he just checks. He says, "Yeah, everything checks out normal." He said, "Your disorientation should wear off. Well, the worst of it should wear off pretty soon."
And I put my hand up to see if he'll help me sit up.
He looks at you kind of awkwardly and reaches out and helps you. Once you
Hands on my forehead, and I'm looking down, and that's when the vertigo hits in, and I feel like I'm spinning. And the image I get in my mind is like, oh, and that's when I fall quick to the ground. And you see the man in the white coat reflected in this pool of blood that's gathering around my head.
That wasn't a good idea. All right, come on, let's get you back up. He reaches down.
Blood gushing out the nose all over this small child with like sun blonde hair all over the front of his chest.
Take it easy now. Come on, back up on the table, and he helps you back. Basically, bodily lifts you.
I go to talk, and it's just like bubbles of blood coming out the mouth.
Take it easy, take it easy. He hands you like a handkerchief kind of thing. Here. Hold your nose, tip your head down, stop the bleeding. He looks at his coat, and he sees blood all down one of the sleeves. He shakes his head, and he wipes some of the mucus off of him from... He says, anyway, like I said, the worst of it should wear off in a few minutes, but you're likely to suffer some disorientation for a couple of days anyway, while you get used to your new body.
I'm just going to lay down here for a bit, as I'm holding my nose back.
That's fine. The water will be here in 30 seconds. Just relax.
Okay.
The next to wake up is Gavin. So Gavin, because you weren't in the last session, David, just in case you know, you were in a sylph morph the last you knew, which really kind of suited Gavin's style, being the kind of criminal con artist that he is. So yeah, you were in a sylph morph, which is a really, just a beautiful person kind of morph, basically. So you're waking up now in this Ruster morph on this table, and I'll let you roll with how you want to wake up.
Okay. I slowly open my eyes and am greeted with the ping of medical equipment. Almost like it's kind of reminds me of a children's tune of some sort, As I start to focus and my vision actually begins to clear, is when I catch word of the doctor speaking to someone. One deep male voice, adult voice, and apparently a child's voice, maybe, but something odd about it. Can't quite figure it out. Maybe I'm still kind of groggy, or something else is going on. And as I kind of turn to my right to kind of adjust myself, my eyes kind of focus in on a pattern or a design or something in front of me, just out of reach. My eyes focus a little bit more, and I see that this pattern is almost swirling in a way. I focus a little bit more, and I see that it's the doctor's shiny shoes standing in some kind of puddle of liquid, kind of splashing around in it. I kind of slowly raise my body up, on one arm, and rub my eyes, kind of looking around some more. And I actually see the child leaning back on a table not far from me, his hands over his face, and I see that there's blood. Is that blood? I kind of shake my head, lean up a little bit more, and swing my legs over the side of the table. I've kind of been through this before, I think. There's little differences, but pretty much it's the same thing almost every time. Kind of look at my hands, kind of flexing them in front of me. This morph, it seems like it's kind of well worn, It's got like scars, The hands look like they're pretty calloused, Muscles are kind of really tight. Why do I have a headache? Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, and you hear the swooshing sound of the door opening up, and a droid kind of comes in to the room, very humanoid and look. Actually, it's definitely an android. It's got a lot of robotic features, but it's an older model that was made to try to make it look human before they came up with really advanced, skin job technology, if you want to call it that. So this one is, you can see the creases and you can see some of the, the lights on it and things like that. But it comes in basically with a tray. The tray has 4 glasses and it has a pitcher of water with ice floating in it. And it walks in and it walks over and the doctor who you saw kind of talking to the child waves it over, and the droid holds the tray in one hand and it picks up the pitcher with one and it pours water into one of the glasses and puts the pitcher back down on the tray and offers the glass to the child as the doctor walks over to you and says, you're Gavin, is that correct?
Yeah, Doc, that's correct. What's going on?
How do you feel? Do you remember anything? Everything? Any holes I need to know about?
Well, I've got this terrible headache, Doc, and I don't know. I don't really remember much right now, but a flash, bunch of voices, yelling, screaming, kind of pain, like all of my nerves were just like on fire, and then nothing.
Yeah, the memories will come back to you, unfortunately. You died, Gavin. You died, but we got you back. Don't worry, you were fully recovered. You don't have to worry about any unwanted forks being found out there. We recovered your stack, so you're here now. It's okay. Might as well relax, get used to your new body. Have some water, and the robot walks over and does the same thing again, where it holds the tray in one hand, pours a glass of water, sets the tray down, holds the glass of water out to you.
Okay, I kind of grab it and notice that the glass is actually glass, which is kind of strange, I kind of look at it, and look at the liquid and everything, and then that reminds me. I kind of look over to the child. What kind of shape is he in? With the it's a he with the blonde hair, correct?
Yeah, it's a male child's body.
Okay, all right. Is he still reclined, holding his bloody nose or bloody face? Not good. Not good at all. Where's the rest of my team, Doc?
He says, well, you see Leica here, which, now that he introduces the child as Leica, you realize, well, Leica was a female the last time I saw her. So now she's in a male child's body.
Female adult, right?
Yeah, exactly. She was in a ghost morph before.
Nice. Way to roll the dice, Leica.
He says, your other friends, Ellis and Amir, should be waking soon. He says, Amir is in the arachnoid morph over there, and Ellis will be in the other rustro morph.
Okay. I kind of laugh, kind of chuckle, And I look at my hands and arms again, and looking at the scars on them. And I say, well, I thought I was screwed, but apparently I didn't do too bad.
Well, it's been about 2.5 hours since the explosion. Um, you guys have been brought here to Elysium. Um, your briefing should be coming in soon. I'm just here to make sure you guys all re-sleeve okay and that there's no complications. Your major disorientation should be wearing off in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, you will have some reacclimation issues probably for the next couple of days as you get used to your new body.
I nod. I kind of wave my hand. I say, yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing every time. I know the routine. I kind of take a swig or swish of the water, put it back on the tray, I guess, and then I say, just let me know when the rest of the team gets here, and I kind of lay back down and try to relax as much as possible, even though Leica is moaning and groaning over there.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is going to be fun. At this stage, the arachnoid starts to stir. And Chepe, you're starting to regain consciousness, I guess?
Shit, light. My voice has changed. I don't... tiny arms. He looks down, these blue, metallic, fluorescent, little tiny grab implements stationed to his head. He's a little bit amazed. He needs to calm down.
And the doctor kind of moves over to you, whether you take notes of him or not, but he says, "Are you okay, Amir?"
Where are we?
This is the receiving facility, one of the receiving facilities on Elysium.
Oh, okay, Elysium. Turn on. I go into the mesh. Try to framework what kind of body I'm in. Just letting the data kind of flow into me. Realizing that hydraulics are involved, it is like, oh.
It's a bit of a shock.
Body. Yeah, it's like, hydraulic body. He's never had one of those before.
Yeah, you're in a shell.
I'm
not in a biomorph.
No, so he's just waving one of the little parts of the pincher, trying to figure out how it works, and he goes over in his mind, telling his muse, practically arguing with it with his own subconscious, just trying to get just some Arabic prayers playing in the back of his mind, trying to access the mesh, just going over it, and he starts bobbing his head methodically up and down a little as weakly as he can, and you hear the zzz, 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 of him trying to do that, trying to pray, trying to bring himself into a state where he can actually focus on what's going on.
And the doctor's doing some scans. He actually pulls up a little device, and it's almost like a Star Trek tricorder type thing. He's just doing some scans. He says, "Yeah, okay, everything seems to be working okay." He says, "Are you there, Amir? Are you there?" And I don't know.
Eyes open up. There are cameras, you could say. They've lenses, several of them. Not used to having this much vision, and so many scanners everywhere, just built into me. I focus in on the doctor. I read his dimensions, and metrics are flaring in my mind.
Snapping his fingers in front of one of your eyes.
Yes. What?
Are you there? Are you all right? Can you hear me?
I'm functional. I'm functional.
How much do you remember?
I remember a flash. I remember blood, a bubble smearing across Leica's face. I remember apes. I remember the nanoswarm going off. What happened?
There was an explosion. You and your team were killed in the explosion. Your morphs were destroyed. You saved the scum barge. You saved thousands of lives. You guys are heroes.
was the... What about my cortical stack?
It was
Is this...
retrieved. Don't worry, it's all you here. Shouldn't be any gaps except maybe for the last couple of hours while we get everything set up. And the robot walks over and pours you a glass of water, and he waves it back. He says, "No, no, no, no." He says, "That's okay. A little bit of
What's
an
this?
oversight."
What's this gonna do to my insurance?
Don't worry, firewalls covered everything.
Okay.
These morphs are on the house.
Looks over and sees a Ruster morph, and then sees a little body, chest compressing in and out, breathing in, sensors going in, trying to analyze the air coming in and out. Who? Uh, hear a voice come over a small speaker outside of the spider tank.
And
Little...
he says, "Oh," he says, "Well," he said, "Gavin here is pretty much awake, and that's Leica over there with the bloody nose, unfortunately." He says,
A camera,
we're still waiting for Ellis to join us."
a camera zooms in for inquiry, trying to figure out if that was really the case. Is that Leica? And then zooms back out. Just start meandering around.
And Ellis, this is about time for you to wake up.
Okay. I feel really cold, and all I can see is black, like I'm in an abyss. And I start walking forward, and I can see like ripples generating beneath my feet. And all these images from my past are just thrust upon me like I'm a forced audience. I see where I died in the original fall. I see being forced into being a gatecrasher. And at last I see dying on the ship right after I gave my last order to send out a wave saying to avoid the ship because it was going to detonate. I feel like I'm being forced out to relive my life as punishment or something by some kind of sick deity. All of a sudden, I feel like this intense burning sensation going from the base of my nose all the way into my sinus, and my eyes start to open a bit, and I can feel that burn of antiseptics and thermal jelly. And my body feels really scarred and nasty and different. Probably ugly too, but I don't open my eyes all the way to check. And I just put my hand with my fingers webbed over to blind myself from the harsh fluorescent light. And you can see me fidgeting a bit, but I'm not really moving. I'm just still laying there contemplating how fucked up I had been.
And you hear a voice say, "Ah, she's awake." And you can sense a form walk over and around to the table over by your left shoulder. And
So
you hear
without
a voice that you don't recognize say, "Ellis, are you with us?"
without removing my hand, still shutting myself from the light, I kind of let out a half whimper. It's almost like a partial cry. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here, Doc. I'm fucking brought back to life again, huh?"
"Yes, don't worry, don't worry. Everything was retrieved. It's really you. I know how disorienting these things can be. It's not your first time, though, is it?"
No, it's not my first. Probably won't be my fucking last either, judging by what's been happening.
Says, "Don't worry, don't worry. Everybody's here. You're the last of the team to wake up. The other three are here as well." He says, "Would you like some water?" And you hear the sound of gyros whirring as the android walks over and pours you a glass of water.
Yeah, I bend up ever so slightly, kind of shaky, still trying to blind myself from that light. Though my eyes are becoming a little bit more accustomed to it, I reach my hand out and take the glass of water and slowly sip it.
And he gets a little cop on and realizes, oh, and he calls out, "Lights, dim, 50%." And the lights turn down.
Thanks, Doc. I remove my hand and I kind of look my body over. And like with the case of Gavin, I see nasty gashes, a really hard, leathery red skin, very calloused and worn. It reminds me of Mars itself, very harsh and completely different from my previous splicer morph, and it adds to the traumatic shock of my death experience.
And the doctor says, yes, yes. He says, it's a Russer morph, Ellis. You're on Elysium. Or you're on Mars. This is a reskinning facility in Elysium.
Did we stop the swarm?
You did. You did. Your exploits were highly commended. You're all heroes. You saved thousands of lives on the scum barge. Unfortunately, it seems that your job isn't completely done. Your briefing should be coming in shortly. Now that you're all awake, I'll let them know that you're here. I'll advise them to give you maybe 15 minutes so you can all collect yourselves before your next briefing. He says, well, everything seems to check out okay with all four of you. Do you need anything else of me, or will I just give you some privacy?
I kind of just speak out. Just go ahead, Doc. Leave it. Get out of here. We're good.
I'm still praying, so.
Very well. So he leaves the android in tow.
So Leica takes a sip of water and rinses out her mouth and spits it on the ground. And as she spits, in this little pool, there's like a bit of broken tooth. And Leica stares down at it. Lets her tongue run over her teeth, and she can feel where the little gap is now. Sharp, protruding.
You just got that morph. What are you doing?
You see her stare over at you, and she says, "This is your fucking fault." If we would have done things my way last time, there wouldn't have been any of this nonsense, but you had to have it your way, team leader.
I kind of think, try to see if I can form a valid response to this accusation, and I really can't.
Yeah, your memory's a bit fuzzy.
So I blurt out, I thought Ellis gave the order.
I jump to my feet and wipe away the puffiness of my cheeks as the best I can. And I say, no, it wasn't me. I thought it was a good idea to scout out first. Turns out I think me and Leica were kind of right.
All you want to do is talk and talk and talk, and everyone dies.
Well, according to what the doc said, I think I made a good decision. Seems like we saved a lot of lives out there.
You were cowering like a child. And then I look down at my body and see the irony of what I said.
It's only suitable. The scanner goes back into his socket. It was. You're the one
I
who
feel like this
my
is Firewall's joke of our little adventure.
You're the one who killed our contact.
No, scum deserved to die.
It falls off of the table because the spider legs can't properly situate themselves on the table. I'm kind of rolling around, struggling.
So okay. I finally stand up, and my legs are a little bit stronger. And you see this like thin, naked body walk over and start putting on these clothes. But these clothes are way too baggy for his small frame. And puts on a hat, and it's like 3 sizes too large, and it like comes down a little bit below his eyes.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Ellis looks over at Amir's hard time adjusting to the new morph. And I say, "What they put you in, Amir?"
Toaster.
Toaster.
I say it's a spider. Squish it.
Still,
It's a pretty big spider. It's about a meter long in the actual body itself. Body and head's about a meter long, and the legs, they are retractable. Actually, if he extends them as he's trying to get himself back up, they're about a meter and a half long each.
Mhm.
And of course, there are 8 of them.
I walk over to him and I pet him. I'm like, can you even feel this?
No pain, no pain, no.
I go to one of your lenses and I put a fingerprint and I smudge it.
Oh, that's rude.
You see it like retract, and then do that, and then you see red lights go all over your face, trying to return the favor by just flashing them as much as possible.
As you do this, I attempt to climb on your back and ride you.
I'm not used to hydraulics yet, so I'm just adjusting one arm at one point, and then another arm at another point, and it's just really slow and really edgy.
I feel like it's Spider Rodeo.
And Leica, your muse comes on inside your head anyway. I don't know what kind of voice you want your muse to have, but your muse says, "Would you like me to requisition better fitting clothes for you?" In whatever voice. We haven't established what voices you want your muses to have, but you know.
No, I like this.
Are you sure?
And the hat like flips. Yeah, I'm sure.
Very well, ma'am.
I get one of those. I guess it's kind of like an examination mirror, you know. It's on a retractable arm of sorts.
Sure.
And I'm kind of looking at my face, you know, really close, you know, kind of just like feeling the skin and kind of seeing how really unpliant and unsupple like it is, like my previous morph.
You're really, really disappointed.
And I look.
This pretty boy, and outside, you're this thing.
And I'm looking, you know, and almost like my nose is almost touching the mirror. I'm so close to it, you know, and I've got no fucking pores. This thing's got no pores, and it's starting to freak me out. And I'm
There's
realizing
a good reason for that.
Yeah, it's starting to set in exactly. You know, initially I thought I maybe got off pretty easy, but now it's starting to set in, and without turning away from the reflection, I kind of just speak to the rest of the team, and I say, so now what? What are we supposed to do now? Just sit here?
And as you're thinking about this disappointment with your Ruster morph and its non-pores, you know, you catch in the reflection of the mirror, and as you say this, you do see the Neotenic trying to ride on the arachnoid morph, and you realize, don't really know who got the worst of it. And I'll let you guys respond to his question.
I say briefing's coming soon, and I pop off the spider, but my legs aren't as great as I thought they were, and I slip and I hit my bottom.
One leg goes up, another leg goes up, and then you see them finally, for the first time, go up and down simultaneously 2 or 3 times. And then there's a nice shaking motion, just getting it off. No pain, no sensation. This will come in handy.
Ellis is now fully clothed, and she's looking at her hands, testing the dexterity of her fingers, because they are wont to program and hack and access information, and she sees that they're a little bit more clumsy than before, and that's going to be some kind of problem. She looks at Gavin, and she says, Gavin. And as she says Gavin, she realizes her accent's gone. And that upsets her ever so slightly, because she had a very lush, melodic Jamaican accent, and now it's very dull. All the music in her life is gone. But she continues and she says, Gavin, these bodies are pretty rough.
I look up from the mirror and I kind of go, yeah, no shit, you know. But I say that's what we get for a job well done, at least I guess, you know. But we're alive, you know. Our stacks are intact, so.
Alive is a relative term.
That's true. Yeah.
It's still trying to go up and down, practicing, trying to get used to this thing.
She cups her bicep and is hitting her tricep, and she says, how much damage you think these things can take.
Well, supposedly they're pretty tough. I don't know, and I kind of stretch my arms out, kind of feeling the muscles, kind of, the strength in them, and I would guess they should be, well, they're made for survival in that harsh environment, so I would guess they're pretty tough, Not tough enough to stop a bullet, but fairly tough.
Alice cracks her head and she says, "Note taken. Don't get shot."
Hey, what happened to your voice?
And a voice comes over the intercom, and the view screens all around the room on all sides start to flash to life, but they're a little bit slow coming on. The voice comes on first and says, "Hopefully, you won't have to find out how tough they are, but that probably won't be your luck." And then the screens start to come on, and you see a guy in a suit, and you recognize him. He's one of your contacts with Firewall. He's a proxy. He says, "Sorry to break up the reunion, but we couldn't wait any longer. I thought we should let you know what business you're on, and then you can take some time to try and get used to your bodies, walk around a bit, see the sights while we prepare your next briefing, your next full briefing." His name, geez, I didn't think of a name for him. You guys know him as Edwin. So, the doctor tells me that you're all four perfectly re-sleeved, ready for action.
I wouldn't say perfect, but yeah, the team's intact.
Intact is going to have to be good enough. We have traced the source of Grey Shoe's nanoswarm to Mars. We're working on further details, which we will give you in the next few hours, hopefully, as to where you're going to be deployed to next. In the meantime, you are currently in the city of Elysium. We would advise you to have a walk around. It'll make it easier for you to adjust if you actually get outside, interact a bit. It may be awkward at first, but that's exactly what you need these few hours for, is to work out the bugs. And
what sites do you recommend?
He says, "Sorry, Amir. Too soon."
Eyes, like, head moves up. I go up his frame, looking at his suit, looking up to his face. I can't scowl, but at least I can glare.
And your muse says to you, "Work out the bugs." You gotta hand it to him. It was kind of a good one.
Initiate morning prayer. Goes and plays Arabic prayer, singing over in his mind just to soothe himself.
Anyway, so ultimately, as soon as we get you a location and a mode of transportation, you will be moving to the source of this of these weapons, and your mission will be to isolate them, destroy them if possible. At the very least, make sure that no one else gets their hands on them. Although we suspect that Grey Shoe already has people at the location.
What's our timetable? You're allowing us to do this whole sightseeing thing. How much time do we have?
We expect to be contacting you in the next few hours, as soon as we can organize actual proper coordinates and transportation. Unfortunately, you're probably going to be looking at Terran-based, or Terran-based, not the right term. You're going to be looking at planetary-based transportation, as any flights or other transportation would draw too much attention.
I kind of scowl as my muse reminds me of my less than stellar groundcraft abilities. So I keep that to myself and kind of make a mental note that we're going to have to figure out who's going to
Who's going to
Who's gonna do
drive?
what? Basically, yeah. Who's going to be the taxi driver?
Do you guys have any questions, any concerns, any issues with these new morphs? I apologize. I understand they're not the best, but we had to work them together very rapidly. This is a quickly evolving situation. And as you saw, the level of technology that Gray Shoe had on her ship, we can only presume that they have more of the same and possibly worse here on the planet.
Why don't you just buy it?
By what?
The weapons. They just want money.
We're not entirely sure of that. And there seems to be a third party involved as well, and we don't even know who they are yet.
There seems to be a third party. What makes you think that?
Do you not remember the group that attacked the ship while you were aboard?
I do remember, yes.
We have the recordings.
Were you able to identify them?
No, that's the problem. All we know is they're in Spicer Morphs. But who are they? What do they want? What's their part in this?
Were you able to recover any of their morphs or any of their cortical stacks with ours?
Unfortunately, no.
Is it possible for us to review the...
Their cortical stacks were loaded to self-atomize upon destruction of their morphs. It seems to be a rather clandestine organization.
A clandestine organization?
Well, who else atomizes their own cortical stacks upon destruction of their morphs?
Firewall.
That's not true.
I smile.
Your cortical stacks weren't atomized. Well, with the exception of you, of course. Leica, you were able to get out soon enough, but the other three, we were able to recover their stacks. We don't resort to such extremes. We understand the sacrifices that you all make every day in fighting the existential threats to transhumanity.
Can I make a roll to see if this guy's legit?
Okay, can you? You tell me, because you know the skills about as well as I do.
I'm going to say...
It could be simple perception. Is there anything else? Do you have anything else on your character sheet that looks like it would work better?
There's a psychology skill. I already know that exists.
If you have it. Actually, hold on. I have your character sheets here in front of me. What do you have? You have...
Like, it looks like I have some training in deception. Can I see that he's trying to deceive me?
Sure, go ahead. Roll deception. That sounds good. I'll buy it.
45.
Your perception is 40, or your deception is 45, I believe. But
yes, it is exactly.
Oh yeah, you didn't have any mental traumas, so you only have the physical trauma. So yeah, no problem. Yeah, as far as you can tell, let's see, what do you get from him? He's not lying, but you can tell he's probably not telling you everything too.
Mm-hmm. Like he's holding back some information about the clandestine.
No, you really get the vibe that he doesn't know. He wants to know more about them, but he doesn't. But at the same time, he's withholding some other information. You're not sure what. You always kind of get that feeling with these guys, though, because they only it's all need-to-know basis, you know.
I said perhaps there's something a little bit more that if we had another piece of the puzzle, we might be better prepared to isolate and destroy these weapons of mass destruction.
He says, very good. As soon as we have another piece for you, we'll let you know. In the meantime, enjoy Elysium, boys. And he hangs up.
Thank you, Edwin. I turn to the party and I say, have you guys been to Elysium before?
No.
So you don't know of any good sights to see? I asked my muse. Does my muse know?
Your muse would know quite a bit about Elysium. Yes. The Muse would know a lot about Elysium. Elysium is one of the larger cities on Mars. Mars being the center of transhumanity in the solar system now, ever since Earth became basically a inhabitable wasteland. What else can I tell you about Elysium? It is located in the Elysium and Hyblaeus Chasma in the north of the Hesperia region in Mars' eastern hemisphere. It is the entertainment capital of the entire solar system and is the largest Martian city. It is the largest Martian city outside of the canyon lands of the equator. It is also the most physically remote of the large Martian cities, though advanced transportation technology, suborbital flights, rocket flights from habitats above, make this remoteness a trivial quality. Elysium and Hyblaeus Chasma together make up a 250-kilometer-long canyon system in the shadow of Elysium Mons, a 14-kilometer-high mountain located about 200 kilometers northeast of the city. In between is the Zephyrus Fossae, an undulating windswept lava plain. The city was the vision of one person, a Zevi Waxaka Martens, an eccentric entertainment magnate who was intrigued by the close proximity of the eminently terraformable chasma to the unspoiled Hesperian terrain. The city itself is only 30 years old, but already boasts a population of 9 million transhumans. Elysium is mostly built into the canyon walls of the chasma, sprawling over a 75-kilometer stretch, all of which have been domed over. Unlike the big domed metroplexes of the south, Elysium takes advantage of the canyon walls, which are close enough together that rather than building freestanding domes, the builders have simply built great enclosing arches to completely cover the canyon. These expand northward year by year as the city grows, and from low orbit it looks like a great glistening serpent.
We're on Elysium. This is the internet. This is the entertainment capital of the world, or of Mars, or of all transhumanity.
It's futuristic
transhumanity. You guys want to catch a show?
Equivalent of Los Angeles.
Or Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Even better.
Las Vegas, yeah.
Can I make a roll to see what security measures they took and how it deviated from the standard when dealing with us?
But what do you mean? What kind of security measures?
Because they just received someone for re-sleeving, so certainly there's standardized security measures for taking people in.
Okay, yeah, sure. You do that over the mesh, I presume, so that would be kind of a programming check, perhaps, or...
No, there's a security measure. I have to do...
Oh, yeah. Your security is your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Profession security procedures, yep. What'd you get?
And 81. So I failed, but yeah, go ahead.
No, as far as you can tell, everything seems pretty normal. In fact, if anything, it seems a little bit laid back. It seems like they were at the very least they were hoping it was all going to go well, which it seems to have done. So you go over, check the door opens. The door opens once you step up in front of it. So they don't have you locked in. You don't see any heavily armed security bots or anything around.
My wheels pop up from under my legs. They tread on, and you hear a little zzzz because the hydraulics still aren't in full bloom yet. And Amir is still as serious as ever, despite all the noises and the random hydraulic legs occasionally twitching up on the wrong side. He bangs against the wall, but he measures the dimensions of the room, looking still very perplexed about the whole thing. Goes over...
Uh-oh.
Yep, uh-oh.
I think we just lost Chepe. Okay.
I mean, you're jacked out.
Okay. How did the rest of you guys respond anyway? Obviously, he's kind of going to check out the halls.
Well, it sounds
Go
ahead.
Oh, I would like to contact my muse and have my muse set up some form of transportation for me to go to the hottest entertainment club in Elysium.
Yeah, you don't have to contact your muse. Your muse is always with you. It's always on. It's like your personal assistant. It's connected to your ego, in fact. So when you ego cast away, your muse comes with you. If you are whatever, your morph is destroyed, your ego, your cortical stack's not recovered, and you're restored from a backup, your muse is restored from a backup along with you. So your muse backs up with you. This is the way I've read it anyway. It's directly attached to your ego, I believe. So
Can my muse set up travel arrangements for me?
it's been with you your entire life. It knows you quite well. And it says yes. Actually, I just need to ask you, do you have the funds or the rep to organize a limousine, or will we be traveling by cab?
I have 4,000 credits.
How would you like to travel, madam?
In style.
I will have a limo cab to collect us outside the facility in 20 minutes.
I turn and I look at you guys. You want to pick up a show?
Sure, why not? Got nothing better to do.
That's the spirit, Gavin.
Ellis punches her hand and says, "Yeah, I think it's time to test these new bodies out."
It's really disturbing to see poor Chepe in such a compromising pose. Hope he'll be back soon.
Better call for a tech. Something's going on with his morph.
Spider morph down.
Yeah, right?
So just to facilitate things, yeah, he's suffering some glitches. It's having some difficulty. You guys will be able to kind of how would you move him along? I guess give him kind of a gentle shove in the right direction. He's unable to communicate for whatever reason. He's having problems acclimating to his new morph, but he manages to tag along with you as you move your way down. Whoa, that was a little
okay. I'll make sure I have some. Well, I'll complain because obviously the only really clothing we have here is, I imagine, pretty bland, and standardized,
Yeah.
I guess what he'll end up putting on is just kind of almost like a generic corp uniform of sorts, almost. At least that's how it looks to him,
Yeah, you get what you pay for, and you guys didn't pay for this stuff.
Okay, so I'll grumble about that, and how are we supposed to go to a show in this town looking like this, But at least we'll be in a limo.
Yeah,
So,
your music.
I walk over to the side of the wall. I put my hand onto it. As I put my hand onto it, it opens up. As it opens up, you see this light back suit come out. I take off these big baggy clothes, and I get into my light back suit. Inside my locker is a kinetic rail pistol, and I put it to my side. And I say, "Are you guys going to get ready or not?"
A vac suit is a vacuum suit. You don't need to wear it within the city. The city is domed and terraformed, so just
There has to be some reason for me to have it with me, right?
Well, I suppose, yeah. It'd be for probably wearing when you're outside of the city, when you're traveling across the planetary surface.
Man, what kind of show did you book us at? What are we doing?
I think it might be a gladiatorial arena. I'm not sure, though.
Oh.
Martian times.
Yeah.
Your muse pops up anyway, Gavin, and says, "Would you like to make a stop to acquire better clothing on the way, sir?"
I inquire, what's my account looking like?
Let's see here. Well, you've got 1,500 credits anyway.
Yeah, but how is that? What's that? What
You
does that mean?
you could get a decent outfit of clothing. It's up to you as to how much you want to spend.
I shake my head and I say, you know what? It'll have to do. Order me something, and I'll have a stop on the way there. That'll do.
Okay. Just something a little bit flashier than this Rustrum morph suit, anyway.
Mhm.
Just a little nicer clothing to put on outside.
Something a little sharper.
Your muse would probably approach you with the same proposition, Philip. Should I say Leica? Madam, would you like to stop and acquire better clothing along the way?
Actually, I'd like to acquire some better weapons.
Well, we could stop and collect more weapons along the way.
Yeah, I was looking for something like an experimental pulse detonation EMP.
You probably will not be able to bring these things into the show, madam.
Am I in the...
I say I have a way of getting around obstacles. I am an infiltrator, a saboteur.
You were going to say Chepe, yes. Sorry.
Do I hear this in the mesh?
Yeah.
I'm talking to my
No,
muse.
this is
Did you
private. No, the muse
I didn't-
conversation is private.
Okay. I was wondering if you were doing it in like a public chat with your muse, or if it was just...
No, it's a private.
Like I'm walking around talking to myself like a crazy person.
General muse communication is all
nothing crazy about that.
and private, I think. So
I do that all the
unless you want
time.
to broadcast it. So yeah, your arachnoid morph kind of glitched out a bit when you started to move into the hall, and you got jammed up. And they had ordered a transportation to take them to a show, and they kind of like pushed you along down the hall because you had frozen up. But you're back in control of your morph again, you think, and yeah. As you guys come out of the building, you're on one of the upper levels of the city, and the way the city is, there's this huge chasm, okay? And it's anywhere from 30 to 50 kilometers wide, the chasm, at its peak. And it's layered like steps, okay, up along the sides. And the city is built all along these sides. And down in the very, like the valley of it, if you want to call it, the bottom part, there's actual, it's heavily terraformed. There's a lot of trees and parks and actual natural water flows and things of that sort down there. Result of the terraforming that's been going on here for the last 30 years. You are on one of the upper levels of the city, and you realize it's a pretty scummy part of the city. Really.
I turn to Ellis and I say, "Hey, can you pick me up so I can see?"
Yeah, I'll give you a boost.
And as she does, I like hock a loogie off the side.
Okay. It goes down a couple levels and hits something down below.
This place looks amazing. I love it.
And yeah, so at the very valley of the chasm, and like I said, it's about 30 to 50 kilometers across at different points. And the city itself covers about a 75-kilometer expanse of that area, lengthwise. It's very big, 9 million people. And the way this city is laid out, the poorer sections, the higher you get up the chasm, the poorer the neighborhoods are. The lower you get down, the closer you get to actually the actual terraforming and the natural parks and waters, the richer and the more affluent the neighborhoods get.
I point down
So
there and
where,
say,
like the
"That's where we
lower
should
levels,
go."
which you can see very well from above, you can see the lower levels are just like neon lit and bright and beautiful and colorful. Whereas up here where you guys are, it's all freaking gray and black and just piss poor white, neon, fluorescent light, I should say, not even neon, it's like fluorescent, So yeah, you guys aren't in the best neighborhood.
What time of day is it?
Ooh. It's dark anyway. It's late. Nighttime was.
I look up at these constellations. Have I seen them before?
You've probably seen them from different perspectives. You've probably never seen them from this point of view.
This is incredible. Never been here before.
Have you ever been on Mars before? It's up to you for your character, but.
Oh, no, never. Just like this sense of complete awe and wonderment at this shining jewel of
That's
humanity.
Cool. Yeah.
Micah, where's this limo at?
Oh, I look at Gavin. I'm like, that's a good question.
It will be arriving in just under 10 minutes.
Did someone say limo?
Oh, I'm like, you're not gonna like mess up the leather, are you? Maybe you could ride in the trunk.
Alice is gonna bend over and inspect the legs because she's into robotics, and she's gonna say, "What speed?
Oh, be
do you
careful when you put me
think
down.
for?
What'd she say?
What speed are these legs graded for? Maybe he can just run behind the limo."
I don't think they're that fast.
Mm-mm.
I say,
Didn't
can you
see
climb
that.
up the wall?
You mean like down the chasm or whatever?
I don't even.
D-
I don't even know myself. He wiggles his legs, looking at him. Little
You
wheels
should
on the
try it.
bottom. Somehow I don't think that's.
How far of a drop is it?
Between each level, it's not too bad. It's he could attempt it with relative ease. Although there would be some stages where he might be looking at 20 to 30 meter falls, which would be pretty bad.
I mean, don't
But
you
for the
want to
most
see if
part,
you can climb or not?
Can Ellis just appraise his ability using robotics?
sure.
All right, let's see. Hardware robotics 65. So got a 60.
60 under 65.
Yep.
Yeah, he should be able to do it as long as he can manage it properly. Now, if he's having disorientation issues, though, it could prove to be catastrophic.
Your body certainly possesses the capabilities, Amir, but I'd take it easy right now.
Light. The little clamp goes over his sensors and it kind of clanks against the glass.
Mm-hmm.
The lights are bothering him.
After a few more minutes, the what did I call it? I called it a limo cab. The limo cab arrives, and it's pretty massive, actually. It's kind of like what we would see nowadays as the equivalent, like the Hummer cabs, except it's a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger than that. And it hovers.
Is someone getting out to get the door for me or what?
Someone does get out and opens the door for the four of you.
Look
All
up
right.
at the door. Rolls back to try to avoid it swinging open at him.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see the leather and
I'm
contorting.
like, are these things allowed in there?
He says, it should be fine. He says, I will open the back door if you wish, sir or madam.
I think you just call it. And I hop in.
Either way, it's irrelevant.
This way. And he goes around to the back and he pulls open the double back doors, and you can climb in there much easier.
I wheel in there and then contort four legs on top and then just push really hard with the back four legs. Topple into it.
Okay. He closes the doors behind you. And what did you say when you ordered the cab? You wanted to go to a show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. You didn't specify what kind of show. You just said, let me go to...
The biggest and best known show that there is on Elysium, like the one that everyone's been talking about.
Okay. So the limo cab hovers, higher up above the air, and then it launches into the air. And basically, in Elysium, they
I kind
have
of synced out in my seat, like.
they have flying cars, they have laneways, everything's well organized for such. It's not just chaos like cars flying all over the place. They actually have a system, and it flies you guys all the way down almost to the very bottom of the city. It takes quite a while to get down there.
Is there a holographic TV so I can flip through the news?
Absolutely. Yep.
What's been going on?
Well, you can see the news. You see, it's a lot of entertainment news. You see talking about this actress and this new movie coming out. You see a lot of things about socialites and glitterati all over outside, as well as you're moving down through the things. You see more and more kind of holographic screens. beauty and style are so common, it's almost mundane. You see a lot of people walking around on the streets with exotic sylph morphs. They've decorated, modified themselves in extravagant and just all the different types of ways you can imagine.
Yeah, I see the Sylphmorphs, and I look at Gavin, and I just shake my head.
You see Gavin's kind of staring out the window, looking at all of the, like you said, the neon,
Oh yeah,
garishly decorated structures and stuff, you know.
yeah. You're really missing your previous body.
And I would assume that there are other like hover vehicles that we kind of pass by and everything, you know.
Mhm.
And as we pass by them, we can see inside some of the occupants, are kind of dressed in nice clothing, They're laughing, drinking, their beverages and everything, enjoying the good life, And Gavin starts to scowl.
Yeah, pretty much everyone you see is either blindingly beautiful or calculatedly ugly. The ones that have made themselves to be not beautiful are decidedly not so, for obvious intents and purposes. I mean, you see... Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Ian.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I cross my arms and I look at Leica as she's looking at the news and I say, "Trying to find a side job or something already?"
I'm like, yeah, can you pass me that booze?
Yeah, I hit a button on the wall, a compartment flashes down, and I take out this long, wavy bottle with a purple cork on top. It's got a light green, translucent, swirling liquid in it, and I take out a small, tiny martini glass. It's ridiculously slender.
I'm like, don't use the glass, just do it straight in. And I lay down on the seat and open up my mouth.
I put the purple cork in my mouth, and I twist it and pop it off, and just lightly trickle it down on top of her.
So I weigh about 75 pounds, and I've taken in about maybe 5 ounces of this liquor when it hits me.
Mm-hmm. And your muse comes home and says, "Adam, you are supposed to be working soon."
Do that show!
Let me know when you want me to kick
And I
in.
pull up the gun. To the show!
No wonder
So
we're in the situation we're in.
I stop pouring. I take just a little sip to taste it, and the green liquid tastes very, very acorny, very nutty, smoky, very strange for the color. So I swirled around and put the cork back in the compartment.
Mm-hmm. No problem. So yeah, they drive you for a while, and eventually pull up outside of this theater, and there's like a whole red carpet and everything. And the guy comes around and opens the door for you guys to step out. He goes over and opens the back doors for the arachnoid morph to come out through the back. And you guys are on just like this huge like boardwalk almost area. It's big, wide, like the actual streets and sidewalks are holographic themselves and have different images appearing on them. You see movie stars and producers and all of the glitterati that you would expect walking around, and they're looking at you guys with a bit of distaste, in fact.
So I put my gun away, and then I kind of glare at them like,
you didn't take the gun out of the car, did you?
I don't want to retcon it.
Okay. Yeah, actually, there's some Martian police approaching your vehicle. There are people pointing and laughing at the arachnoid morph because shells are extremely, extremely out of... they're in poor taste on this planet, in their opinions. You know what I mean? Everybody should... Well, why would you come in a shell? You should at least have, a sylph morph or an exalt morph, or, why would you show up in something so artificial?
Amir doesn't even really shrug. Just scans the environment, looking at the dimensions of the vehicle and entertaining himself by contacting his muse, thinking about possible ways to scan the outer perimeter of whatever, just recalling different security procedures in his mind, trying to figure out different strategies for the upcoming mission he doesn't even know about yet.
Yeah. What you do find, too, is the place you've arrived at is an opera house.
Oh, I have a question for you, actually, Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Does the skill art robotic sculpture, what exactly does that let me do? Could I appraise a piece of machinery for aesthetic value?
I suppose you could, yeah. Robotic sculpture? I suppose it's an art skill. I mean, it'd be a matter of making artistic robots, yeah, for not necessarily for functional, like military purposes or anything of that sort, but just for pure beauty and different styles and different designs, yeah.
Can I roll against Amir to see if I can figure out a way to make him look less abrasive to the eye?
Go ahead and roll it. I'll let you roll it.
Give him a scarf.
Just a scarf?
Or
What was it? Nope, I don't make it.
you don't make it? Okay.
Nope.
No, that thing it's pure practicality. There's no aesthetic to it, really.
I
Amir
just
prefers
whispered
it
that
that
to
way.
Amir. I whispered to Amir, "Don't worry, my friend. At this rate, we'll be in new slips soon, anyways."
As I guess, can I notice the Martian security coming our
Sure,
way?
everybody can notice the Martian police approaching.
Okay, I'll put my hand on Leica's shoulder and start guiding her as I kind of look up the street
Like it falls.
and
You
point.
knocked her off balance.
Right, and point and say, "Come on, let's go this way. I think there's something for us to do over here." And I'll follow the holographic kind of like a trail, that my muse has put up, which will lead us to the place to get our clothing, so we can get away from this cab situation.
Okay.
Like stumbles to her feet. Don't you want to go to the opera?
We can't go dressed like this. Come on.
Leica, you feel a chemical change within your body as your muse releases certain endorphins and hormones and chemicals within your body to instantly sober you up. And the effects of the alcohol wash away within seconds.
All right, I'm good. Let's get going.
And your muse
Amir, Ellis.
sorry, madam,
this way.
but the police are approaching.
I fumble out of the back, just ring, because finally we can do something.
I'm like, this area is under hypercourt protection. I feel safer already. Let's get out.
So you don't need that gun. Put it away.
What, this? And I put it in my waist pants.
I wheel around to the side and then bow down.
Don't damage your morph with that.
The police have caught up with you at this stage and say, excuse me. Sir, is this your child?
I say, yes, this entourage is with me, officer. We're moving along. We won't be blocking the thoroughfare anymore.
We couldn't help but notice that you were armed.
I kind of raise my hands defensively and say, well, we just came from the upper levels, and officer, I lean in towards him. I say, you do know that things are quite dangerous up there.
Of course I do. I just need to see any kind of permits or any kind of registrations that you have that would allow you to carry those weapons.
I give Leica a look like...
And your muse clicks on inside your head and says,
your little ass.
Firewall operative. You can use your firewall rep.
Okay. All right. I'll compose myself and say, of course, officer. Just a moment. So what would I actually show him something physical, or would it be a...
it wouldn't be physical, no. It'd be something that he'd be able to read, although I'd say it was something like firewall rep because it's generally pretty secretive.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you'd have to activate, but it would come over the AR, the augmented reality.
Okay.
And let me just see what yours is. Well, it doesn't have to specifically be you. Any of you guys can do this. I think that's IREP, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's pretty low for me.
Yeah, it is.
What's G? I've got G rep, which is pretty high, and C rep, which is fairly high.
My IREP is 40.
Okay.
Who's got the highest IREP?
Uh,
Leica.
There's a pretty dense crowd, right?
Don't do it.
Uh-oh.
There is, but not too close to you at the moment. Why? The actual
I
crowd's
was
kind of being held back. You guys arrived in a limo and we're being dropped off here. There are other, various people walking around. Yes,
I see.
of various importance.
Marmalade. Let's just get in the limo and get out of here. I say it over the mesh.
Andrew, do you want to go ahead and roll a percentile for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss it by 4.
No, I'm going to give you bonuses. Don't worry. It's good enough. They're doing some checks and they're like, oh, I see. Begging your pardon, sirs. We didn't realize. And ma'am. He said, just try not to cause any undue trouble with those, but enjoy the opera. And your muse comes on, Leica, and says, the clothing store is right around the corner if you'd like to collect your clothing before the show, madam.
Did you find anything about that experimental pulse detonation, the EMI, the EMP?
There's nothing available within the city limits of that description. However, if a nanofabricator can be sourced, then we will be able to try to fabricate one if you wish. It should only take a couple of days to do so.
Send out the information to my @rep to try and start up a contact who might have access.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me an @rep check.
Oh, sure. That's a negative. So my @rep is 60, and I just rolled a 84.
Yes.
You can spend a Moxie to reverse it.
You can pick one up. You can pick one up in Olympus, which is very, 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 very far away from here.
I kind of let off a big sigh as I kind of dragged my feet disheartened towards the clothing store.
Oh. Don't worry, madam. Shopping always cheers you up.
A little tear starts to form in the eye.
Crocodile tear, yeah.
Like,
The little boy is crying. It's just so sad because he's in
I'm
a
not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I just wanted an EMP.
I just wanted to blow everything up.
Just wanted a little EMP.
Death. Destruction.
Just want a party starter.
At the mention of an EMP, Amir just kind of
right.
looks straight at you, and there's like red glowing on your face.
Yeah.
I'm like, which eye am I supposed to look at?
Doesn't matter. They're all looking at you.
Got my eyes on you.
Okay.
Elise says to Leica, they're all ugly.
So you guys will slip over. You'll be able to get your clothing picked up. It doesn't cost you too much, actually. You get a firewall discount.
Okay, that's funny. Okay.
Am I able to pick up something flashy while I'm there too?
Like clothing-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, something relatively nice. I mean, you don't quite fit in with like the movie stars and stuff that are around, but at least you don't look like total scumbags walking around in the area,
Is there a bow tie?
Sure. You can have a nice little arachnoid bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
There, that's better.
Just under my head.
Absolutely.
Now you look very festive, ready for the
In
opera.
fact, they can nanofabricate an entire suit that will fit your 8-legged.
I would like to get him a tuxedo for his suit.
Yeah, they can work up a 8-legged tuxedo for you with the bow tie.
Little top hat to go on top of that?
If he's happy with it.
Okay.
It's up to him.
Amir is not happy with it whatsoever.
Amir is not amused.
Amir is very much about business.
Okay.
He's only going to the opera to protect you guys because he knows he needs you.
The nano tailor will say, sir, certainly. You understand that, no offense, but shells are very frowned upon here on Elysium, and the least you could do is just to dress you up as nicely as possible, to dissuade some of the laughter and ridicule.
As long as it's on head charge.
Absolutely, sir.
Turning
She did
to little
offer.
boy.
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry, he did offer. Sorry, it's hard to differentiate when you have a character whose identity is one gender and their morph is another gender. It gets a bit confusing. So, yep. So they get you done up in a little Arakoid tuxedo with a bow tie, top hat.
I have tails coming off my suit,
Sure.
like like the old 1920 style.
Oh yeah,
Kind of.
they nanofabricate it right there in the shop pretty quickly, and it fits you perfectly now. It's no more of this extra baggy, oversized stuff.
Also an eye patch, just for that touch of mystery.
Sure, as you wish, sir. Whatever you like.
Ellis asks for a well-form-fitting black dress with the seam coming almost all the way up to the hip. And then she'll ask a very awkward question as she produces her gun and sets it down on the counter and says, I need some kind of garter that can conceal this.
Very well. Sure. And if they whip something up for you. What kind of gun is it, just out of curiosity?
It is a shredder.
That's a type of pistol, is it? Or that sounds like a shotgun.
It says it's a fléché spray weapon.
Yeah, fléché pistol.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll part the dress and I'll strap that on and conceal it.
Okay, sure. And for you, sir? And they turn to Gavin.
I already have something picked out over here, and it's a corp sheet. So it's really like a fit, kind of a very neatly cut corporate suit of sorts, kind of which would be worn by the upper echelon, wage slave that's in style these days. So like I said, very fitted, a jacket, kind of like a very tight and straight cut tie to go along with it, but it still looks strange because of his morph, it's almost like a gorilla in a tuxedo, almost.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very odd looking.
Is there a little stand with cologne?
Yeah, sure.
So I walk over and I see this little rectangular bottle, and I see my face reflected in it. And the shelf is a little high, so I can only see like the upper portion of my head.
Yeah.
And I reach over this little thin hand and I pull it out and I open it, and it smells like lemon and spice and sandalwood. And I take a little dab and I put it behind my ears, and I close it up, and it has like this heavy glass feel as I put the cork back into it, and I set it on the shelf, and it has like a little bit of rattle of it going back on. And I say, I'm going to need a top hat too.
Absolutely, sir. And they whip one up for you.
How do you think I smell? Okay?
I think you smell exquisite, sir.
Oh, good.
Ellis is going to say to Gavin, a child in a top hat. This isn't going to cause a scene at all.
That's where I keep my gun.
They got all kinds here.
It's got to be the stress of the resleeving. That's all it can be. I understand we're all going through a lot, so that's why I haven't said anything. I just hope we make it back tonight. That's all.
So that'll get you guys all dolled up and ready for the show. At which point then the driver is still waiting outside for you, and we'll walk you over to the Opera House. He says the car is driving around the block looking for parking at the moment.
Yes.
So yeah, so you guys will go on into the opera house. It's a beautiful, big-ass opera house. I mean, lovely tiered seating. Not a bad seat in the entire place. Don't know if you guys like opera or not. If you like opera, it's a really, really classy, cool show. If you don't like opera, it probably sucks ass then. But that's neither here nor there. You will be entertained for a couple of hours, or sleep for a couple of hours if you wish, in the opera house.
So while we're watching the show, I lean over to Ellis and I say, the lead singer here, she used to perform here. She's not here anymore. The doctors told her that she had to stop having so many orgies or give up opera. She made the choice just like that. It was the orgies.
Yep.
Alice turns and looks unbelievingly and says, "No way, Jack. You're pulling my leg."
And your muse pulls it up on
serious.
mesh for you and says, "Actually, it's completely 100% true." And she shows you the records and the news articles and everything about it.
I'm like, no, that's
Oh.
ethical.
I see Martian Vice is quite in line with the rest of the galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pause there for a minute, take a bio break, use the restroom, and then we'll come back for the end of the opera. Cool?
All right.
Awesome.
I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Oh man, Phil, you're killing me with the top hat. It's fucking amazing.
So here's the question: is it your plan to go infiltrate by disguising yourself as a child prostitute?
Oh no.
Because you wanted to
Leica
play
is she's a super serious and determined radical, and this is the place where all the richy riches have showed up at the opera house in the
I'm
nice part of
surprised.
town.
I'm really surprised she hasn't tried to burn anything down.
Why?
Because she is a radical. This is authority incarnate. This is like the antithesis of everything she wants. Except maybe a
Yeah, but
corporation.
she's also a infiltrator, right?
Yep.
So you got to get there first.
I'm anticipating a murder.
You
Yeah.
are?
That's how you infiltrate.
Yeah.
Oh,
After
wait, was it the
watching what
limo?
you
We got
did-
the clothes.
Yeah, but we look like Barnum and Bailey's circus coming in there. So.
Am I in a seat, or am I just like in an aisle? Like just taking up an entire aisle by myself? Because I'm like a meter-long spider type.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is
tuxedo.
like a meter. A meter's not long.
He's bigger than that.
I
You
got
know,
my
it
legs
likes
like
to-
sticking
3
out.
feet.
Right.
You know
with-
when you sit
with-
down in the theater and someone
Mhm.
has like a really big hat and you're like, fuck, this is gonna suck.
I've been trying to get you to ride me, Phil, this entire time, because you'd probably have like little scrawny legs. Can't go anywhere.
He may pee on you. I don't know if you want him to do that.
Well, the thing is that I'm trying to change her behavior based upon the morph that she's in. And neotonic morphs are stigmatized in some circles. Some people find them distasteful. But they're also supposed to be like very inquisitive and like less resource depleting. Like they're supposed to be very agile and small.
So the morph can actually have some kind of influence upon your personality. Is that what you're
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to portray it.
saying? Okay.
Like this is a different take on Leica than last time.
Me too. I think I'm enjoying playing this character more without a Jamaican accent. Surprise, surprise.
Right.
I'm just trying to give her more childlike qualities.
Mm-hmm.
I think Amir
Well-
finally found the body perfectly suited for him. He's an all business, no emotions. Because he, even in his biological morph, he chose not to have a gender just because he thought sex was a distraction.
Ah, there you
And
go.
this
yeah.
one, so he's like, this is all practicality, all form, All business. It's like the perfect morph for him.
That makes sense. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna hate my morph. That's where I'm coming from. It's totally against what how he wants to present himself, and he's all about presentation, and schmoozing. So this sucks. But that's good though, because he'll struggle with that.
I wonder who this third party is. Like, who's this clandestine organization? Also, did you guys like the part about the cologne?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I bet the third party's a megacorp.
Oh yeah, what makes you think that?
I think they're gonna try to get a hold of the nanotechnology to try to incorporate it into some kind of productive scheme.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if we're going to be going down to Earth.
It's possible.
So, the opera wraps up. Everyone makes their exit orderly from the opera house. You guys are met. It takes a little while as you're leaving for the, there's a whole queue of limos and cabs that have to come through. While you're waiting for yours to arrive, you get a call over the mesh from Edwin.
I kind of look up. Accessing.
Mm-hmm. He says, okay, we have your orders. You are going to have to leave Elysium and travel a little over 1,000 kilometers to a former habitat known as EB6. It's a habitat that had been destroyed during the fall. According to all of our records, the dome surrounding the settlement was breached during an attack by AI killbots. Hundreds of people succumbed to the depressurization and the change of atmosphere, and more died when the machines overran the base. There's been little need to reclaim the settlement, and it's been left a desolate ruin. It lies in an area considered dangerous on the Martian planet, still roamed by surviving constructs left behind by the Titans. We have arranged for a buggy to be available for you, which you can drive out to the ruins. Direct flight, unfortunately, would attract too much attention. Those of you in Ruster or synthetic morphs will be able to easily get by in the partially terraformed Martian atmosphere. However, you, Leica, you're going to need a vac suit. Or, at the very least, rebreathers and heated clothing.
Mm-hmm. What do you know about these surviving constructs that are there, Edwin?
Very little. We try not to get too close to any surviving Titan constructs. You understand? They can be very dangerous.
Yes, you had mentioned AI killbots. As the situation is still depressurized, yes?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean,
what's the latest intel on EB6? Anything?
Just exactly what I've told you.
Why do you think the seller is going to be there?
Well, we obviously have information that Gray Shoes people were left behind there, and that's where she departed from when she left with the Nano Swarm.
Oh, so this is the last place that she was. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's left behind a team there. We know they're there currently. Sorry.
So there is personnel there. Okay.
Yeah, I apologize.
Very good. What is the mission? Is this quiet or is this loud?
Whatever you see fit, but just make sure that none of those weapons leave that dome. You need to eliminate, you need to neutralize the threat from the Titan weapon cache there.
So we know that there is a Titan weapon cache there.
Oh yes, we would presume that there's probably at least a few more of the nanoswarms which you encountered already. We would expect there to be more killbots, probably, hopefully, currently
Hopefully.
deactivated. Hopefully deactivated at the moment. And quite possibly some heavier weaponry as well.
Are we supposed to retrieve this and bring it back, or are we just like securing it, or what are we?
No, neutralize it.
Actually, destroy it.
If you can destroy it,
Okay.
is ideal.
What do you recommend? What weapons should we use to destroy it, Edwin? Do you know? What's the most effective?
Well, we leave this up to your own discretion, whatever you're comfortable with. But as I said, you could be you're at least dealing with a small team of Gray Shoes people here. There's also the possibility of killbots. So if you feel heavier weaponry is necessary, by all means.
Do we have any information if these killbots can be hacked?
If the killbots are activated, hacking them can be extremely difficult because they are Titan technology.
Thank you, Edwin.
Alice cracks her fingers.
Of course, you can expect any of the typical Martian dangers along the way as well.
What dangers are those?
On a direct route, it should take you approximately 12 hours to drive to the dome. There can be terrain dangers. Typical terrain dangers on Mars include mudslides, sandstorms, flash flooding. This is all, of course, as side effects from the terraforming efforts. You could run into hostile Martians, rednecks and the like. And of course, there's always the possibility of AI relics, dangerous Titan-spawned machines that have been known to still roam that area of Mars. They could be anything from tank-like war machines to flying drones.
Do we have any gear allotment or any way to?
A nanofabricator will be provided, and you can pick it up with the buggy at the location.
Okay.
When do we leave, Edwin?
Immediately.
Okay.
Did you enjoy the show?
Yes.
Good. It's important to enjoy life whenever you get the opportunity in this line of work. Happy hunting.
I run my finger behind my ear, and I smell the cologne. I was like, maybe this is going to be the last thing I get to savor.
Alice is going to take a whiff, and she says, "You smell like sea breeze."
I do. It's been a long time since I stood next to the sea.
More like sea bass.
What's a bass?
According
She
to my
steps heavily.
students,
That's going to be your next sleeve.
There's
there's
something
anything but
sour in
seawater.
there.
This brings something else to my mind for your information. If your morphs are lost in this particular region of Mars, we will probably not be making much effort to retrieve the cortical stacks. So do be careful. Of course, we have your backups on file, but retrieval would be deemed more dangerous than is liable, justifiable.
Okay. So how do you guys want to go about this?
Is the comlink cut?
Yeah. He hangs up if you guys are done at that stage. So basically, what I'm
Alice-
telling you is like, if it looks like you're not going to be able to get out of there, just
Mhm.
fucking kill yourselves and they'll restore your backups. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
not uncommon. It's something that comes up in firewall jobs sometimes.
Alice finds it slightly suspicious. Like they want us not to remember what we're about to do. They're planning on something bad happening.
Yeah, I think so. I think the best thing to do is actually to find some of these bots, activate them to take out Gray Shoes' left behind team,
Mm-hmm.
if we don't have to get into the fray, into the mix, we don't have to dodge any bullets. If we don't have to dodge any bullets, then we don't have to worry about losing our memories. If we don't have to worry about losing our memories, then maybe we can be better off. What do you guys think?
Agreed.
Yep, sounds like a good idea. Very good.
Affirmative.
I have academics nanotechnology. Would I be able to guess, with a roll, of course, how difficult hacking a piece of Titan technology would be?
It's damn near impossible.
Damn near impossible.
Yeah, Titan technology is so advanced. Yeah, trying to actually hack like Titan bots is, you've never heard of it being done successfully.
Okay, so Ellis will relay that information.
And things like nanoswarms, they're so small and so advanced, and there's so many tiny machines all working in sync that the hacking them is pretty much, hacking a nanoswarm is unheard of, impossible.
So also the AI kill bots are all Titan technology?
Well, yeah, they're the ones that you've been warned about could be. He doesn't know as to what the Grey Shoes team will have there. They may have bots of their own, but those would probably be, that would be something more along the same technology that you'd be used to dealing with. So something like they have, you should be able to do okay. You just got to watch out for any Titan items.
I would like to try to contact people in my scum rep to see if there's any available information about the Grey Shoes team that was here on Elysium, to see if we know like who the party members are, if we can identify them before we go, so we know what we're getting ourselves into.
Okay, go ahead and give me a scum rep roll anyway. An at rep roll. Actually, such a scum rep. It's many things.
Okay. That's a 45 underneath the 60, so success by 15.
Yeah, you don't know, you can't get any details as to who exactly is out there, but you can get details through some of the Barsoomians here on Mars, which are the rednecks that were previously spoken of. They're kind of the indigenous people now, I guess. That they're the
They're
humans
brinkers,
who.
aren't they?
Hmm?
Which means they're brinkers, right?
They are just Martian. They live in the rural areas of Mars, and they're not necessarily, allied with the hypercorps that run everything in the cities. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they will tell you actually that they have seen activity in that area. They haven't gone into the actual former habitat themselves, but they can tell you that there seem to be about 4 individuals operating in there, and they do have their own bots as well. There's some kind of excavation going on there, but they haven't gotten close enough to identify anything beyond that.
Ian, can I maybe do some schmoozing around in the upper, less savory areas and use my G-Rep rather to see if maybe some of the criminal organizations may know a little bit more detail about whether there's a weapon cache there and maybe what it may contain?
You
Maybe
mean weapons cache in AB 6 itself?
In AB 6, yeah, or maybe something that
Yeah.
the smugglers and the hoods and those kind of guys may know.
Sure.
If there's anything else we may be able to find out from
Yeah,
another angle.
Give me a roll on that.
Okay.
I can't remember what G-Rep is for, but
G-Rep is Guangxi or Guangxi, used by the triad. Guangxi, sorry, used by the triads and numerous criminal entities referred to as G-Rep.
Cool, yeah, Guanxi. Yep,
Guangxi,
go
sorry,
for it.
oh boy, I mangled
that's
that.
okay. Your cab is right. I imagine you're doing all of this through actual mesh communications at the moment. There's no need to actually physically go up to the upper levels and waste all that time when you can contact people through various channels.
Okay, and I will spend
transhumanity.
I'll spend a point of Moxie, right, to reverse that roll. I can do that, right?
You can, which turns it from 61 to 16.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, basically the word on the black market and with the criminal organizations is that there were some weapons pulled out of there, which Grey Shoe herself, who had Night Cartel affiliations, had taken to sell. She was supposed to be making some kind of a rendezvous with a scum barge, and she was looking to make a sale on some nanoswarm that she had pulled out of there. What they do know is that there's been no contact from her. She hasn't come back yet, but her team is still there excavating more, and they expect there to be a lot more of that stuff coming out of there in the near future. Are you looking to buy something?
Possibly, but I just want to see what the general market looks like these days.
Well, from what we've heard, anyway, they've got nanoswarms. They've got, they've got. I have a list of everything there. I know they have nanoswarms. They have deactivated killbots, and rumor even has it that there may be some kind of an antimatter bomb.
All right, that sounds a little heavy for what I've got in mind, but thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we can't afford it either. But just thought we'd let you know it's out there, brother.
Okay. All right, good enough. So I will relay this information to the rest of the team here, and shaking my head while I'm doing so, I definitely have a pretty good idea that we're getting into some deep stuff here. This may be a one-way trip again. Do you guys have any thoughts as far as how we're actually going to attempt to maybe possibly infiltrate some of these or control some of these the bots in order to do the majority of the dirty work?
I say we get a plane, we fly over top of them, and we just death from above.
Well, they say we can't fly because we'll probably alert them to our presence, which we don't want to do. So we're going to have to roll.
Do you always follow orders?
I look at Leica, and I say I try to. You know, that's normally how things work.
Well, I guess that's why you ended up in that beautiful morph.
Well, I shrug and I say, well, following orders or protocol, or even the way certain things go, even the natural order, is how you get things done.
Well, we do have a priority, and I think it's to neutralize it at any cost. So if that means going outside the bounds of what our orders are, I think we should do it. Ellis, what do you think?
I wheel up toward him and then use my little clamps to try to pick up the kid. Just hold him in the air with his legs.
I make a fray.
I don't want to get blown out of the sky.
All right, let's do this on dice stream, guys.
So do I need to make a percentile roll with my scrounging? Or what do I need to do? Unarmed combat. I can do unarmed combat.
Yeah, that'd be basically. You're not trying to hurt him, but you know.
Okay. What do I need to do it with?
I can change my camera to show my roll.
Fray. Got it.
Using green. So it's 80 something, and my fray is 85. Shit, I got an 86.
Okay. What did you get on your unarmed attack? Sorry.
Oh, I got a 60 percentile on the dice stream, and I have a 60, I think, as my fray.
So you just succeed, and he just failed on his fray. Oh no. You have a 60 for your.
I just to let you know that he has a -10 to grab me because I'm small.
Okay. You actually, come to think of it, you all, don't forget, are suffering from.
I'll spend a point of moxie in order to get rid of all negative rolls.
You're suffering from -20 for your dysmorphia in your bodies, and neither one of you are suffering the mental trauma. Let's see that you guys are. Okay, so you spend a point of moxie to negate that. So you just succeed. So the spider just grabs hold of you and lifts you up off the ground.
The little legs dangling in the air, and you're just held up by my little pincers.
Put me down! Legs kicking back and forth. Put me down!
And your limo is arrived.
I pull up the kinetic railgun and I point it at you. Put me down now!
What are you doing, Amir?
letting her know she should not have such big plans for someone who is so small. Drops her.
Gently. Ish.
Ow! I think I sprained my ankle.
Stop whining.
The driver's looking.
Oh,
You see security personnel looking in your direction and talking to one another and holding their hands up to their earpieces. The driver says, "I suggest we leave imminently."
Sounds good.
I say, yeah, leave the arachnoid here. And I get in the car.
Only wanted to prove a point.
And he goes around and he opens the door for the arachnoid as well.
I pay for the damn What?
Sorry.
I'm writing a vicious email.
Sorry, sir, but I have been contacted by your employers, and
You work for me. I pay this.
I don't anymore. Your money will be refunded, sir. I have been given
Fair enough.
I have been given coordinates to take you to immediately by a Sir Edwin.
Well, I guess we're being just kidnapped then. All right.
And he starts to drive. Takes off, gets into a lane, several levels above street level, and moves off as quickly as possible.
So I'm gonna tell Leica, I don't think your plan is a bad idea, but we should probably go in and scout it out first.
I say that's how we die.
We stay on the edges.
I say people scout. People who scout are people who already know the terrain in the area. I've never been on Elysium before. Why would they outlaw any type of flight? It doesn't make sense.
What I know from my knowledge of habitat systems, I have it as a profession.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to know about it? Just like
Is there a legitimate environmental reason flights are outlawed?
no, flights are not outlawed per se. Well, although flights to this region would be outlawed because of the dangers inherent therein. You know what I mean? The fact that it is still kind of Titan territory. There are several pockets on Mars that are still controlled by Titan remnants, and this is one of them. But the main reason why flight was denied to you
Was because the mesh crashed, obviously.
Is he in there?
I think he's LDing. My whole notion behind it is if we get eyes on the actual base, we can tell whether or not there's anti-air Titan defenses.
Like even if there's a flying drone of the area that could relay information to us, you know?
Yeah, that would work too. Just as long as we know when we get up there in a plane, it's not going to shell us before we can jump.
I wish there was a plane that could send out like a holographic image of other planes flying, like a small fleet. So which one do they shoot at, you know?
The ones with no heat, or the ones with the heat, rather.
Oh, that's smart.
The one making noise.
Or the noise, yeah. Unless we go in with gliders.
The one that's actually reacting to the wind.
So that's the plan. Ornithopters.
Ornithopter.
It looks like Ian lost internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have demolitions, so I was actually hoping to go in and do some saboteuring.
We gotta get
What's your demolition score?
Not too good. But enough.
Mine's
It's serviceable.
60.
You're 60. So why didn't we do that? We have disguise. I don't think that would work with my morph though.
Well,
Well, I mean, you do have a top hat.
I do have the top hat. Apparently, it is a very convincing top hat.
why do you
That's
guys want to
not
go in
seen
there pretending to be entertainers or something?
I don't think that'll
The
fly.
spider comes in with a cane. Hello, my baby. Hello, my dog.
Leica would go for it.
The child entertainer with a top hat and cane just
Yep.
emerges from the harsh Martian desert.
Mm-hmm.
That's not suspicious.
Right.
I
And gets sprayed with automatic fire right away.
Sorry about that, guys.
I think the people we have to go see are these rednecks, the Versunian. We should make contact with them first before going, because they'll probably have people who know the area a little bit better. Actually, we know that they've seen them because they know about the habitat, they know how many members, they know that there's bots, and that there is an excavation. If there is an excavation, that means that the ground might be unsettled. If the ground is unsettled, that might mean there might be a way to rig up the environment to collapse in on all the members or some of them to neutralize the area.
We could
What do you
we
guys
could we could try to get a probe from them and send out the probe to do like topographic scans and scan their air defense.
That'd be nice if they have any land-to-air missiles. But if the nanoswarm is released here on Elysium, that might spell doom for the entire city.
Well, this place is over 1,000 kilometers away from Elysium. That's why you have the 12-hour drive.
Okay.
A little icon pops up with the little spider tank icon. Doo, 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 doo. It opens up and a wall of text comes out, and it's on the mesh, and it's Amir talking about how he's pretty familiar with Brinker groups, which are basically the rednecks of the systems. So he's like, maybe
Yeah.
I could actually be able to do some talking with them.
I think we should go and see them first.
Okay. You want to make a stop off somewhere along the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you guys get in the buggy. You have the nanofabricator there. Do you want to? Is there anything you want to make?
Oh, we're at the
EMPs?
actual buggy.
Yeah, the buggy. Sorry. What do they call
I
it?
need
That's
I need to inspect this vehicle for a couple things before I get in it.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I'm going to use hardware groundcraft, which is a 75. I'm looking to see if whoever gave it to us has rigged up explosives on it.
Okay. Roll.
My reasoning here is that it's a one-way trip. If we fail, they might try to contain it by blowing us all up with the vehicle that's going to be tethered to us.
It's
Fucking
not
nice roll,
rigged.
dude.
It's not rigged.
Okay.
No explosives. No tracking devices. Aside from whatever it's standard equipment anyway. It's not too hard to track vehicles if you have an ID on them anyway. But
So Elise will pop out from underneath the vehicle and say it's clean.
You're not anymore. Wipe that grease off your face.
She wipes off her brow. The sweat and the grease has turned into this thick, oily substance, and she flicks it at Leica.
I like it as a fray.
okay. Yeah, like you dodge it. We won't worry about rolling. You dodge.
Can we fab some body armor for ourselves, if possible?
Let's see. I'm going to say that's going to be moderately difficult gear. So I would say it would take about 6 hours to do one suit of body armor.
What if it's just a vest?
Just a vest.
Yeah, can we do that instead? How long is our trip? I can't remember.
I'll say a vest
12
will
hours.
take 3 hours.
12 hours? Okay.
A vest will
Unless
take 3 hours.
Unless you guys are already equipped.
Oh, what? Leica did have a vac suit anyway, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, but
we'll
that's
say you
not
brought it
gonna-
along with you. No, because she's going to need it for the travels, because you're going to be leaving the nice terraformed confines of the city.
Yeah, I took the back suit with me when I left to go to the opera, guys.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you have it in the cab, in the limo
That's
cab. The two of you are in Rustermorphs, and then Amir is in the Arachnoid, which is a sync morph. So none of you actually need any kind of special gear. Whoa. I'm just going to mute you real quick, Philip, because It sounds like you're ripping your house apart. I don't know what you're
Yes,
doing.
is like in the back of the buggy
Holy
pulling
shit.
out gear or something, or what?
She's gone full on rock star. She's trashing the hotel room. Or she.
You're right.
Yeah. Just she.
I say Goy.
Yeah.
So.
I would say a couple of vests, if possible, armored vests.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just my guess.
You have time to manufacture up to 4 of those if you're not manufacturing anything else. Like I said, they take about 3 hours each.
We need heavy weaponry. Heavy weaponry.
Any kind of
explosives.
Any kind of complex objects, firearms, etc.
You guys figure that out.
Takes at least 1 day per complex object to nanofabricate.
Do they not want us to succeed at this?
I guess not.
Do you not have any weaponry?
I have a only thing I have is just a agonizer pistol, which is basically like a paint, for lack of a better term, pain gun is what I have, So that's about it. So they'll probably laugh at that, but then I'm not planning on diving into combat anyway, so it's probably good enough for me. I don't know what those guys have. Does Amir have anything built into his morph?
Plasma rifles.
Oh yeah, you're good. Okay.
Holy crap! Yeah, he's.
No, I didn't know that.
Also, multiple kinetic SMGs, semi-automatic guns.
He's a spider tank.
Okay. What about Ellis? What do you got? Anything?
Just a sidearm.
So you're gonna need something. And then I kind of look slowly over at Leica. What don't you have?
Why aren't you guys ready?
Well, I just have a railgun.
Railgun's pretty serious.
I roll my eyes and go, okay, all right. Okay.
He's got a taser over there.
I look at all 3 of you impatiently, just waiting. What are you fleshies waiting on?
Okay. Well,
you may be able to acquire some other weaponry from the Barsoomians if you.
Yeah, the Barsoomians is what I was thinking.
Yeah. And you could even probably call ahead because you've already contacted them, didn't you? Who was it that made that contact initially?
That might have been. Was it Ellis?
Amir, wasn't it?
Or Amir? Was Amir?
No, I
Amir
was the one who contacted them, guys.
Okay.
Leica was the one who contacted. Amir just merely
Okay.
suggested that he has knowledge of Brinker groups, which means he might be able to get something.
Cool. Good. Yeah, so Leica's already contacted them anyway.
Leica's got the cash anyway.
And you guys are going to meet them on the way out there. Because they have a group not too far, a couple 100 kilometers away from Ebb 6.
Okay, well, we'll churn out the armored vest then. That's the least we could do.
Because I think it sounds cool, I will say that they are kind of a bit of a militant group that are opposed to the kind of hypercorp and upper class rule on Mars. They think that the lower class and the working class, such as themselves, aren't treated very well. So, cool.
All right. Yeah. So we'll head out. Is Ellis? You're our driver, right?
I do not have like a ground vehicle driving skill.
The vehicle's
Really?
actually capable of driving itself.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll drive then.
If you need to do any extreme,
Right.
extreme driving, you may have to take control. But as far as otherwise, it can just kind of auto drive.
What about Amir? You have any ground piloting skill? Are you competent at that?
Spacecrafts.
Me too.
Okay.
I've spent my life in space, not on the surface.
Okay, Ellis, you're our gal. Yeah, you're the one.
Alright, so I get in and I go to press whatever ignites it to turn on the engine, however
Yeah.
it works. And as I press the button, I hear a ringing in my ears, and I have a flashback to my first death on Earth, and I see a railgun round just blow my head open like a melon, and my ears ring really tightly, and I get a bit groggy, and I freeze for a second.
That's interesting. You were killed by a railgun round. Were you
Yeah.
killed by another human?
Yes.
Wow. So you weren't even killed by one of the Titans. You were actually killed. How sad.
So
I
then
suppose
my finger.
it would have been chaos during the fall. I mean, people were killing each other. You know,
Yup.
there's lots of stories about how the Titans did it. Nobody really knows 100% truth because obviously all the stories are fractured. But one of the major theories is that before people even knew that the Titans were the enemy, they had made all the different nations of the world think that each other were the enemy, causing nuclear strikes and warfare, etc., for days and days. Before eventually, they realized, oh shit, it's our own tech that's turned against us. But
I like that. So what she's seeing, the relevance to the trigger is probably the fact that she feels like someone's working the situation like a marionette, like someone's pulling the strings, and it triggered the Titans pulling the strings during that initial fallout.
perfect, yeah, yeah, and that's how you feel right now. You are a puppet on the strings with Firewall, basically holding the cross above you.
So she goes ahead, fires it up.
Yep, it's already got it's already programmed for the destination to Eb 6, but you probably want to reprogram it to make this meeting with the Barsoomians.
Yeah.
I'll say Leica has already contacted them successfully, so I'm not going to make a roll again to do that. I'll just have you make I think it's a programming roll.
Yep. Programming is 70, and then it's going to be 80 because I have the 10 from my mental trauma.
Well, that's going
Or
to make it
60.
60. Yeah,
Yeah, 60, sorry. 19, so
nicely
really
done.
succeed.
Yeah, no problem. You program it, no problem for the detour. It accepts it and moves on. You guys drive in this buggy there's a bit of a detour. You drive for about 12 hours. You can, obviously, the buggy can drive itself, so you guys can kind of sleep and stuff and rest in the back if you want. You will also, since those of you, oh no, you were all at a -20 for physical actions anyway because of your body dysmorphia. You're now down to -15 because more than 12 hours have passed. Yay! Every little bit helps. And you make it to the rendezvous with the Barsoomians. You wanted to see about requisitioning some kind of weapons or anything from them. Who wants to make that rep roll?
I'll make it.
Go for it. That's your at rep again.
Okay, sounds good.
Well,
we'll just do
Leica
this.
hops out, and she's, I guess, talking with one of the rednecks. Just kind of look around and see kind of the deplorable conditions these people are working in, and noticing how the wind is blowing the red kind of like dust over the surface, and just noticing the rain and how bleak everything is.
And these are extreme.
So I walk up over to him, and I see someone I know,
27.
and
Nice
I give him a little hug, and I roll a 27.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, what's going on? I talked to you a little bit earlier. We're going to need to get some equipment and arms for our little venture over here to this habitation. We need to know some certain information about this excavation that they're doing and about their members and their parties of their bots. Is there any kind of equipment that we might be able to procure from you to assist us on this venture?
He said he looks at you, like you walk up and give him a hug, and he's just like kind of kneels down and hugs you kind of awkwardly at first, and then he holds you back at like arm's length and looks at you as you're saying all this. He says, "Leica," and these guys are all in Rustromorphs. Leica, is that you?
The one and only.
What happened to you, girl? How did you end up in this awful body?
Well, there was this gun barge about to be blown to pieces, and I had to flex out of there, and I reskinned into this frail piece of crap. But
You're working for the wrong team, girl.
now,
You
don't I
should
know
come
it?
down here and join the Martian Revolution. We could use
I
some
want
of your
to.
talents. Are these your
I
friends?
want to. They are my friends. This is Gavin. This is Ellis, and this Spiderbot is Amir.
What's up, Jack?
Oh, hey, every family needs a pet, eh? And he reaches over and pats Amir on the head.
You should see it. We got him a top hat.
Wow, look at the armaments on that motherfucker. Whew.
I know, right?
Hey,
Do you have
listen.
anything that could match that?
Hey, if Fido wants to join the resistance, we'll take him too.
Well, maybe we can work something out, but first we have to take care of this threat to Elysium.
It's sorry, just to interrupt you. It's a threat to transhumanity, not just Elysium. He says, "Right. So you're going to Eb 6, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be very
Yeah,
careful.
we're headed.
Take it easy.
Huh.
Scout your terrain. Don't rush into anything over there. Very dangerous."
Do you have a
Strange-
map of the area of danger points?
Danger points, no, because they change all the time. But I can give you a basic map of the area.
Awesome.
I can give you a map of the area, and even I can pinpoint on that map the area where they've been doing most of their excavating. That much I can do for you. How do you
That's
feel
perfect.
about that?
I feel good. Is there anybody who can help us out with any weapons?
Weapons. What kind of weapons? We don't have a whole lot.
I'm mostly worried about these bots. Do you have anything that could neutralize or to help us hack these bots?
Hacking isn't our specialty. I mean, if you want to shoot the crap out of some things, we can help you with that.
That's more my style anyway.
Can get you some guns.
Nice.
It's not going to be free, you understand? I mean,
Nothing in life is.
we gotta fuel the resistance, you understand? But we'll give you a fair price. You know, you being a friend and all.
Oh, of course. Of course. Or I could infiltrate you guys into Elysium and we could form a raid party and get you more weapons and supplies. Does that pique your interest?
Elysium isn't the best place for picking up weapons and supplies.
I mean,
Okay.
it's the capital city. There has to be something there that you want.
It's actually not. It's the entertainment capital. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No. I retcon you before you get into that too much. No, it's not actually it's just the entertainment capital. It's like the Los Angeles of Mars. Now, if you could get us into new Shanghai, that'd be another story.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
All right. We're going to need a down payment, though, just in case you can't deliver.
What are you expecting?
Well, that depends on what you're expecting. What kind of guns do you want?
Oh, just experimental pulse detonation EMPs.
Nothing special.
You might be overestimating what we can pull together, but let me go ask some questions. I'm looking at this goddamn book.
Leica, you can afford that kind of gear?
Oh, you're over there with us?
I am trying to find the guns in this.
I didn't think that we split up. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, you
You
guys are all right
introduced
there.
us.
If we
You
did, then that's
introduced
fine.
us. I mean,
Yeah, I thought we were all
Like,
standing.
when you say that, I give you this scalding look, like, chill out.
Yeah, he walked over and patted Amir on the head and everything.
That's right.
You see a red dot going
Gear. Sorry.
just on the side of Laka's forehead, just like right a little bit in front of the ear, just a little red dot.
You're so aggressive for no reason.
I just
Alice
don't like the
says-
fact that we're making weapons deals here, and there's nowhere.
I'm trying to get us to survive, and
I know these are your
Like-
peeps and everything, but
Like, you need to ask him about the perimeter.
I got a map, and I pass it to you.
No. I mean, they're changing defenses.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Grenades and seekers. Here's an EMP grenade.
That could work.
EMP grenades.
do we know anything in general about these rednecks that your average person may hear about on the news, or it may not be 100% accurate or true, but is there
If
like
nothing
a
else,
general? Mhm.
oh, sorry. I said if nothing else, my character's got like a real high interest skill in them, so he would probably have heard of something if nothing else.
For the most part, most of the Barsoomians, or rednecks, as they're often referred to, they're just working class. A lot of them are infomorphs that were recovered from the fall, didn't have any morphs of their own. They were just their egos were recovered, but they didn't have any bodies. And they didn't have any money or anything to show for anything, so they couldn't afford new bodies. So they were forced kind of into like an indentured servitude, basically. They became a working class. And they were forced to work off debts for the synth morphs, which they were given, the robotic morphs. And then eventually, if they worked long enough and performed well enough, they would be given morphs of their own, which in this case, these guys have all worked off their debts. That's why they're lustromorphs. A lot of them were quite bitter about this situation, and so some have retreated out to the wilds, as it were, and become kind of revolutionaries, insurgents, if you will. At the moment, there's no active, warfare against the powers that be, because they just would be annihilated instantly. But the stories go that, yeah, they're out there collecting weapons and preparing for some kind of a grand civil war at some stage, even maybe trying to help fuel the fires through propaganda and such.
All right, so this could be a potentially dangerous situation that we're in. That's all. I was just wondering.
Potentially, yeah, these guys could be anything between the IRA to ISIS.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
So they have weapons.
Oh, they have weapons, yes. He says, listen, he comes back to you after about 15 minutes and says, I can get you some EMPs. I got a few grenades. But I got to tell you, the truth is, a lot of that technology is going to have optical, and their power supplies and sensitive microcircuits, they'll be shielded, surge protected. The EMPs aren't necessarily going to do a whole lot against them. Pretty much the only thing that these things are going to do for you is disable their radio communications. If you still want them, you can have them. In the meantime, I did find some pretty nifty guns for you. And he has a guy come forward. They actually, a couple of guys come forward and they sit down. They've got sniper rifles, submachine guns, automatic rifles, heavy pistols, light pistols, all kinetic railguns. Well, not all kinetic railguns, all kinetic. The ARs and the sniper rifles are railguns.
Do ARs go off with the spray skill?
Yeah, I think they have. Let me just double check here. ARs have semi-automatic burst fire or fully automatic modes.
Awesome.
These
So my
particular,
eyes light up.
they've got heavy armor penetration. They do extreme amount of damage. They hold 30 shots per clip. The only thing that do more damage than this AR is that sniper rifle over there. Now that sniper rifle has supreme armor penetration, extreme damage. It's only semi-automatic and only holds 12 shots, but
I'm gonna need that sniper rifle.
if you're at long range, I'm telling you this is the way to go.
And do you know anything about the scheduling and routines of these people who are doing the excavation?
No, we never try to get too close, honestly.
That's probably wise.
I'd love to tell you otherwise, but you're an old friend. I'm not going to lie to you.
So what is all this going to cost us here?
Says, well, how much do you want?
Definitely the sniper rifle. And I look over at Elise.
The AR does catch my eyes if it doesn't catch Gavin's. He should probably have preference. I'm not a very good shot.
Oh, they've got more than 4 of each of these guns, so they could give you whatever.
I kind of wave my hand and I go, I don't know, whatever. I'll take the one with whatever something comes out the other end. I don't know much about those things.
An AR for your friend here, definitely. You point, shoot, fire so many bullets, you're likely to hit something.
I say, do you have a smoke grenade?
Sounds perfect.
Smoke grenades. Let's check back here on my grenades. Oh
Or
yeah.
tear gas?
We got gas and smoke munitions. Absolutely.
I'd like to get some of those, please. Is there a launcher for these, or are these all hand tossed?
These are hand tossed. Let me just double check
Okay.
something here. Do they have grenade launchers in here? They must have something. No, actually, he doesn't have any launchers handy at the moment. Sorry.
Okay. And I say, well, maybe we can get a sling to pull it and then
wait.
whip and.
Wait. I've got one underbarrel seeker here. This can go. Oh shit, that's a missile launcher though.
That will also do.
It attaches on the bottom of the SMG or assault rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I've got some gas and smoke munition for that.
Do you have gas masks?
Rebreathers? Well, you're wearing a vac suit.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
We could probably fetch up some rebreathers for your friends as well, but I got to tell you, you're starting to get kind of expensive.
Is there any low light goggles? I think it might be best to hit these guys at night.
Well, I imagine Fido here doesn't need any of that stuff, but yeah, we can get you some night vision. No problem. That stuff's
All right,
easy to make.
All right, perfect.
His head bows up.
Yeah,
Sensor
I would
looks
presume
out at him.
More probably has something like that built in.
Comes back in.
So there you go. He says, okay, so you took an AR, both of you took an AR, right? Sorry, I'm forgetting names, Ellis and Gavin. And who was taking the sniper rifle? You were going to take one of those, Posey?
Mm-hmm.
So Leica's got a sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to take the missile launcher attachment for the ARs?
I have an SMG installed, so I can, I guess, try to put it under an underbarrel.
Oh yeah, you could. Sure.
Because if it's a sub part of it.
So you can shoot out the smoke grenades for us already?
No.
No.
If
He's
we
saying
added the
he has a
attachment.
gun. He has a gun that it can attach to.
Oh, okay.
Because it attaches to either an SMG or an AR. Okay. Oh yeah, oh shit, I hit the wrong button. I'm going to send you guys a copy of this map too that he has. So be looking out for your Facebook Messenger. Is that okay, guys, for me to send it there?
Okay.
There we go. That's a satellite view of the habitat that you're going to. You can see there all those triangles. Those are all dome breaches. God, I can't even read. Oh, yeah, then there's lots of debris. That's what all of the exclamation marks label. You can see the various buildings in there, and you can also see in green the actual cache area is marked off. That's where the team has been excavating. That's where they've been working.
What are these triangles?
Triangles are all dome breaches because the dome itself is all busted up. Remember, I was talking about the whole depressurization and everything. It's no longer. It used to be once upon a time. It was a controlled domed habitat, just like Elysium, although on a much smaller scale. But now it's exposed. It's open.
It looks like we should enter in from behind them.
From the south end there.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. The southeast looks the most vulnerable to me.
To me as well.
So
Amir, what do you think? You are specialized here in security.
Yeah, no, I was. Can I make a roll to see if I'm familiar now that I've heard so much about exactly what we're up against, like what their security procedures would be, and what kind of patrols they would have?
Well, it'd be a lot of guesswork, but yeah, you could try anyway.
All right.
You could at least get an idea for your best,
Best opening.
tactical approach.
Most likely opening.
While he's rolling that, I want to go over some of those weapon stats for you guys, so I don't have to flip back here to look this up again.
I got him.
Oh, you already got them?
Yeah, for the AR I did, yeah, so I'm good. I don't know about that.
May I have the sniper rifle, please?
The sniper rifle has a minus 12 armor penetration.
Mm-hmm.
It has a damage value of 2d10 plus 10. Wait, sorry, take that back. Start over. It has a minus 15 armor penetration.
Okay.
It's a kinetic railgun, I forgot. It has 2d10 plus 12 damage value.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-automatic fire and 12 ammo.
6. I have 60.
Wow.
So it has, was it 12 shots or 6 shots?
12 shots.
12 shots, okay.
I need the AR.
Minus 9 armor penetration. 2d10 plus 8 damage value. Semi-automatic burst fire or fully automatic modes. 30 ammo.
Okay.
Did you get the information for those missiles as well, David?
No, I didn't know who was going to be using those, so I didn't. But I can.
They're just gas and smoke anyway, so yeah, there isn't any real...
The gas smoke is attached to my SMG.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. That's right, it is. I'm sorry, I apologize. It doesn't have any mechanical stuff recorded anyway because it's all just smoke inside by releasing thick fumes, and yeah, it can be of any color and is often heated. Called thermal smoke to obfuscate heat signatures. Okay, cool. So you got a 6 under 60. So looking at it there, based on the position of the buildings, the most exposed place would be to come in from behind. So if you were to come through on that very southernmost breach, kind of right between the T and the E and satellite, hopefully be able to get a view over those buildings, or if not, you could get up on top of those buildings in the south end. Then you'd have a nice, perfect view down onto the cache.
Guys, what if we started and we draw them out towards the left? I can be far away with a sniper, and draw them out. I'll be in a good distance, and then you guys can come in from the southeast and penetrate.
What do you guys think of that?
Sounds good to Gavin. He he doesn't know. He doesn't have any ideas to that sound any better than that. So it sounds good to him.
Yeah, Amir is more the security expert, I suppose. So,
Amir, what are the chances of us having complete stealth?
At the dead of night with thermal signatures, we'd be pretty good.
Do we
drawing them out with the sniper? The sniper wouldn't be a great way to distract them, because a sniper is a good kill range weapon. They could easily pick up on what trajectory you're going to be at. You're going to reveal your position too quickly.
It seems to me too, like directional alert is still alert.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get in without them even knowing we're there. I guess it's a risk. It's a calculated risk. If they find us without the distraction, they're going to be right on top of us. If we use the distraction, they'll be on their guard.
I think it's fair to try to draw them out by some means, even if we set up like some kind of mechanical object that goes around the camp, and that, let's just say they go to investigate it. Like, maybe it's not necessarily someone shooting at them, but it's maybe they'll have detectors or sensors around the area to sweep for people that come in. I mean, that's just me guessing, but they might have something like that, and we might be able to set it off. So at least they go and investigate and leave their position vulnerable. I mean, they're obviously outmatching us. We cannot go head-to-head with these people. There has to be some kind of subterfuge here, guys.
With the 6, do you think I could calculate if we would have a time window to be able to rig some kind of demolitions?
I
mean, I'm all for infiltration. That's what I'm made for.
You mean if you were to draw them out somehow to try to get in there and set the demolitions? Well, you'd know that it'd probably take you about 30 minutes to set up any kind of demolitions. So you'd have to draw them out for a long haul, and you'd have to count on the fact that they all come out.
I meant get in and then try to rig time explosives along the side of the wall a little bit farther away from us. That way it's more of the distraction approach and the subterfuge approach. It's a compromise.
Are you trying to set the...
So we sneak in where there would be a timing window to get into the southern breach. But before we go into the southern breach, 2 of us go around the outside over toward the east and crawl up a bit to be able to facilitate the directions. Rig up explosives to be timed, and then they try to meet back with us. By the time we go in and the explosives go off, they've compromised their position. And it's also, because we have a sniper rifle, they'll be able to pick them off long range.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that. Like I said, it would take about 30 minutes to actually set up the explosives, to set the detonators and everything. But yeah.
Should we set the detonators before we even get in there?
You can prepare them on the way if you want, although preparing explosives inside of a moving, buggy could be questionable as far as safety precautions go. You hit a wrong bump or you get attacked by Martians along the way, you could end up blowing up inside of your buggy.
Blood mist.
Elise just says, "Not on my boat, Jack."
Yeah. Your best bet would be to set up the explosives actually at the location.
So I feel like I can't be shooting the sniper rifle and setting these demolitions up and infiltrating their base. So someone else is going to need to use this.
Hey, you're going to have to...
I'm not exactly sneaky.
You're going to want to divide the labor.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, I will be the one. So,
I roll my eyes with so much contempt right now, and I'm like, okay.
You're going to set up the explosives?
Yes. Do we have explosives with us?
You can get stuff to. You can get the materials from the Barsoomians.
You may not even have to do it because I don't know if you guys remember, but they did mention our initial contact from Firewall mentioned, I thought, that there may be explosives there. And
Yeah.
also the underworld guys or the smuggler guys said that too, I think.
Yeah, your contact had told you that they may have some kinds of explosives. Your your triad contact told you that there is at least one antimatter bomb on
Yeah,
site
there you go.
that's expected to fetch a really high price.
Wouldn't that do?
Yeah, so you want me to just set off the antimatter bomb?
The
Yeah,
antimatter bomb would not only destroy the entire weapons cache, but would also probably destroy the entire habitat.
Yeah, that'll
I'm
work.
comfortable with that.
I figured you'd like that.
We still need something to use outside though for the distraction, right?
How about we just
I say we
ram-
use a spider.
I say we use the
Ahmed
button.
looks over and you see sensors and lights blink, and there's messages popping up. And in the message it says you have a spider tank.
I say commence Operation Itsy Bitsy Spider.
These are Titans. Do you want to put your body to that kind of scrutiny?
Another message pops up in the mesh, and it's a small recording, and it says, "Smoke grenades."
Well, the risk
That's
is
it.
yours. It's your choice.
Your redneck Barsoomian friend is looking for 3,000 credit down payment for the weapons.
All right, sounds good. I give it to
He
him.
says, you get us into New Shanghai, of course, this will be refunded to you. In fact, if it goes well, we'll even pay you a bonus.
Oh, perfect.
New Shanghai, I think, is the capital, if I recall correctly, on Mars. It is the biggest city, anyway. It
All
is
right,
the
so I
biggest
am.
city for all of transhumanity.
I still got 1,000 credits, guys. So we're good.
Okay, so how do you guys want to go about this? It's going to be another 2-hour drive to the area that the habitat's in. Obviously, you're going to probably not drive right up to it because you don't
I
have
asked Alice if he still has some of that green liquor.
Put it back in the compartment.
Oh. All right, it's gonna be a long 2 hours.
I pass out the vests to these guys.
Yeah, did you make 4?
I thought just 3 of us needed them.
Oh, 3, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The spider tank can't wear a vest. Yeah, that's right, 3 of them. Do you have the stats available for that, David?
Yep, I can have them in 1 second. Yep.
Cool. Just to let everybody know what that gives them. I think it just gives them a certain level of armor resistance, doesn't it? Or an armor value.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's nothing fancy.
Energy and kinetic.
There were, it's an armored vest, which gives you 6 energy and 6 kinetic.
Cool.
So, that's it.
Excellent. Okay. So, you guys have the map. How do you want to approach this?
So I'll come in from the southeast, and they can drop me off and then head up towards the north.
Did you give
Or
up the
they can
sniper
stay-
rifle or what?
Yeah, I'll have to, because I'll have to do the demolitions, my friend, and sneak in.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys, whoever wants to take that, can take that.
Do you want to take one of the ARs just in case you get into a close fire situation?
Yeah, I think that might be advisable. Is it so large that it might be cumbersome? Because I already
So
have a
small
railgun.
chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for you. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it probably would be, actually. Do you want to
Alright,
stick with your
so-
railgun?
Yeah, was there any way that I could... do railguns have silencers?
I
I
no,
doubt
I
it.
don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I would like
They're
to take
pretty
a
extreme.
I would like to take a couple snow grenades with me though, just in case.
Yeah.
And the night vision goggles.
Totally makes sense.
Sounds good. All right.
So as you come up to this habitat, actually, let me give you a description. So time has taken its toll on EB6. Most of the damaged dome has actually been stripped away, leaving only a tattered framework and some remaining panels. Inside, you can see approximately 24 structures, all kind of half buried in Martian sands. Most of them show obvious signs of damage from the attack that destroyed the settlement, or the weather that's taken place in the 10 years since the fall. Inside some of the ruins, well, yeah, we'll say that to get closer enough, but yeah, there are still actual human remains of some of the former inhabitants within some of the buildings. Yeah, so you can imagine it's the big domed kind of, well, it's not even big, it's 24 buildings under a dome, and the dome is just worn away. Most of the panels missing completely. All the buildings half buried in Martian sand, and yeah, showing lots of signs of battle.
Is there any way for me to spy where this antimatter bomb is?
Do you want to do some kind of reconnaissance? Yeah?
Yes, please.
You're coming in from the southeast?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I'm peering up over rocks, and there's this fisculating light through my hair as the sun is setting as we're approaching at night. And I pull down the goggles, and these 3 little green dots appear, but they're kind of really muted.
Okay.
And, peering and everything appears like this little dense green.
Okay.
How's the gravity here?
Gravity is, I know what the gravity was on.
Is it just Earth?
I presume it's, no. I think it's about 0.38, so about 38% gravity compared to what
you can really jump here. Like John Carpenter, whatever his name is.
I know that was listed as the gravity in Elysium. I'm guessing it's probably pretty close to the same out here.
Alice is going to click down her night vision too and say, "Get me to a comm terminal and I'll hit their communications."
Do I need to do a perception check, or is it even able to see? Or
No. You can do a perception test. It's going to take you a while to scout it all out because you're going to want to sit still for a while. Where are you guys positioning yourselves while he's scouting it out? It's going to take about an hour for you to get good, full-on taking in the situation and figuring everything out.
okay.
Where did the rest of you guys want to park the buggy and position yourselves?
So he's going to go off by himself then. For the scouting.
Yeah, because he's going to
Yeah.
be the one who's going to charge in once he gets direction in place and actually set something up to block the bomb.
Oh, I gotcha. I want to park the buggy then out of view. I want to use my let's see, habitat system skill to try to put it in a place that'll minimize the risk of mudslide and other terraforming kind of hazards.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'll say, where did I drop you off, Phil, on the map?
Southeast corner.
Okay, so
the three little triangles are all kind of close together down there.
yeah,
He's probably right around the middle of those.
I will then park it southeast with obscured vision, as close as I possibly can to where I dropped him off.
Okay. And you guys move out on foot? Or legs and on foots, as it may be?
Yeah, I think that's our plan.
Okay. Where are you guys moving to? Where are you going to take position?
Is there any way I can possibly move up the side of the dome, possibly to get a higher vantage point?
Ooh, you want to climb up on one of the remaining panels or on the frame?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it possible?
Sure, it's possible. What would that skill be? What do you have?
Swimming?
I mean, is it super slick, or is it because it's very difficult? Then I won't bother.
Yeah, I mean, it's all sandblasted. It's been sitting there for 10 years.
Okay.
It's pretty sick. Although at the same time, on the metal framework, you probably find some coarse spots. So
I'd like to try that if
I'd
possible.
call it a climb check. if you have the climb skill. What does Gavin have? Let me pull up your character sheet. What do you have? You don't have climb, do you? You don't have anything.
Don't tell me that I can't climb up something.
Oh, I'm not saying you can't climb. I'm just saying you don't have a skill for it.
That'll give me a bad...
It's going to be based off of your... Not reflex. What is
coordination?
Yeah. I guess. What are they? They're cognitive.
Is that coordination?
I can't remember what these are. Coordination.
Is that what that is?
Intellectual, reflexive. What's SAV, SOM? Will is willpower.
But it's going to be based off SOM.
Yeah, it's going to be somatic, yeah.
SOM, somatic? That sucks. Okay.
I'll give you a plus 10 for the...
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm still at a minus 15.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. No, you're going to realize pretty quickly that it's too dangerous for you.
Okay, well, okay.
Sorry.
No. Okay. I'll can that idea, and I'll look towards Ellis and say, you know, what am I doing? What's the plan?
I guess we're just waiting for him to get back from scouting.
Well, you guys can all, don't forget, you can keep track over the mesh. So, you know, you don't have to wait for him to get back in. You guys can keep in contact during all this.
Can we actually penetrate the dome through another opening? So at least maybe we can, because those are structures in there, right?
Oh, yeah, you certainly can. Yeah, those are buildings.
Can we possibly do that, guys? And then maybe I can get a vantage point from that way?
So where do you want to come in, on the east or on the west? There's buildings on both sides.
Let's see.
I have no idea what you're trying to show me there, Philip.
I think the east. We might try the east.
That's where I was going to be for the demolitions.
The northeast there?
No, the east.
East, well, okay, northeast of where Leica went in, is I guess what I was saying. Yeah. Okay.
So you guys kind of go to the west side or the northwest side, maybe?
Guys, go to the northwest.
The northwest.
That'll be the furthest away from me, and that's the best way to pull them.
Cool. And by the time you guys get up there, he will have finished his kind of scouting. You know, that'll take a good hour, I'd say.
Okay. That's fine.
So, what did you roll on your perception test?
I rolled a 00, but I can roll it again. It doesn't matter.
You did roll 00? I'll take your word for it. That's
that's
a major critical success. So, yeah, you've seen small signs of motion and activity, flashes of movement between buildings, small servitor bots completing tasks. Do you have any enhanced vision?
Yes, I have a plus 10.
Yeah, you've got that night vision thing on, don't you? So you can also see.
I have night vision. I have specs as well. I don't know what that is, but.
You have what?
I don't know. It says, I can show you on my sheet.
It says specs plus 10 visual perception test. Okay, yeah, so it's just like you have glasses that give you an extra bonus to your perception check.
I didn't know if that was like something in my eyeballs or something I wore.
It might possibly be. I'm not really sure, but that's fine. Yep. So it's obviously very inhabited. You can see 4 individuals working around the excavation site itself.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was looking for the antimatter bomb, particularly.
That's right. The bots are not combat bots. They are task bots, so they're doing jobs around the place. The antimatter
I relate that information. Mm-hmm.
You can't see it specifically just because you're looking at a large area that they're digging stuff out, but you figure, oh, what the hell? You rolled an odd. Yeah, you see it. It's there. They've got a number of deactivated warbots, several sealed canisters, which look exactly like the ones that Gray Shoe had.
Mm-hmm.
You see several vats of some kind of chemical compounds. You see several items that are completely unrecognizable to you as to what their purpose may be. And you see one particular device, which you figure it must be the antimatter explosive.
Am I able to send all this visual information over the mesh?
Sure. Why not?
All right. I send that all to you guys.
Are the service spots? I'll return over the mesh. Are the service spots Titan make?
No.
It doesn't appear to be.
The only Titan make bots that you see are the deactivated war bots that they've been digging out of this this cache.
I might be able to gain control of those service bots.
And they seem to be archiving and examining the things that they have.
The service bots.
They're servitor robots, yeah, they're servitor robots. So.
They may know where the cache is and the bomb.
I located the bomb. Is there do I see a place where my friend can hack in at? Or does he have wireless? I don't know.
I think I can use the mesh, can I?
What are you trying to hack?
I'm just trying to
robots?
Yeah, Wi-Fi into their system to gain control of the bots.
Yep, you can try and do that. Let me pull up my hacking. I can finally use my cheat sheet. God, we've gotten this far. We haven't had any combat or anything yet. It's fascinating. Okay. Nope, didn't have anything quite that complicated. Here we go. Giving order to drones. Okay. What do you want to try to do? They are currently running on their own AIs. Do you want to try to overload those? Do you want to just try to give them some basic orders?
Their AIs are
very minor.
I'll try to go to the controlling AI that's moderating their group's task.
Now, each one of them runs on its own independent AI. Sorry.
There's no network that's designating what they're doing. No like network intelligence.
Let's see. There might be, yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me a. This is a subversion. This isn't subversion. This is more of a. Let me look at your character sheet. It might help me more.
I've got programming, computer security, hardware electronics, infosec.
Trying to figure out what would be best for. I know in Shadowrun it would be basically like a matrix perception check. So for this game, let's just call it an infosec. Why not?
Okay, so I have to beat a 65 because I still have that 10
You do
mental
indeed.
trauma.
You do indeed, and I'm also going to give you. Yeah, no, that's fine. Go ahead with that. 65. Roll it.
Got a 10.
Nice.
Oh!
Yep. You can locate. There is a control panel where they have set up so that they can control the bots and give commands when they need to. It's not too far from where they're currently working on the weapons cache.
And can I ping that on an overlay and send it back to Leica?
What do you want Leica to do?
Just so he knows it's there?
Yeah, because I need to control them, you're saying I need to actually use the terminal, right?
No, you can try to hack it wirelessly.
Okay. Yeah, I'd go for control of the terminal.
I say, should you start doing that when I start to infiltrate, or how do you want to pull these people out? What's the plan before we start?
I'm going to, if I'm able to gain control of the service units, I'm going to have them keep doing their task and use it as an emergency.
Oh, that's smart.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another info security check.
60.
Who, me?
So I barely make it.
Okay. Yep, you can get in to that. You've managed to kind of get access to that terminal without setting off any alarms, although it was close.
All right, so
And
I'm
you
basically
have access to the bots.
what I'm looking at on my mesh HUD then is I basically have like a command line structure up, and I'm just waiting to change their service parameter, but I'm not tinkering with it right now. I'm just in and kind of on the hold.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys?
I'll take Leica too, back over the mesh com. All right, I got control of them. It's going to be on you to call for when you want them, if you want them.
Amir is probably setting up the explosives. So that'd be just a demolitions check, I presume?
Yep. Profession demolitions, I believe. That's what I got.
Do you have profession demolitions?
If I'm not mistaken.
No, you get demolitions.
Demolitions, gotcha.
Yep. Don't forget you're at a -10. No, you're not at a -10. You don't have any. Sorry. You're not at any minuses.
So let me get to it. I believe it's 40.
35.
35? Because I'm at a -5.
I know, it's 35 on your character sheet.
Oh, it is 35. Okay. Dang. Da-da-da. I will roll. $38.
Oh, so close. You're encountering some difficulties. You don't like set off any explosions or anything like that, but it's not working out quite as well as you expected it to.
Things aren't going well on my end. The start whispering out of anger even more. He's practically hissing under his throat, frantically trying to get these itty-bitty claw arms to work properly. This was made for shooting things, not for rigging up demolitions.
Yeah,
I
you
say,
can.
why don't you try one of your Arabic prayers? Maybe that might calm you down. Take
You've
it
got-
easy.
You've got the explosives set up, but your remote triggering thing isn't working out. Like it's going to have to either be manually triggered, or you're going to have to trigger it through some kind of, other incendiary or explosive means, like shooting it or something.
Can one of the servitor bots do it? Sacrificing itself?
It's pretty far away, isn't it?
Absolutely. You can program a servitor bot to set off an explosive.
Just a thought.
Yep. No, it's a very, very good thought.
Yeah, then just have them
Carrying it
set
over
off
the
that
net.
antimatter device. That'd be perfect.
You could do that as well.
All right. I suggest you evacuate the premise.
I do.
The problem is
I,
though, that you do still have the four agents there in the area, and they would probably react. They would notice if a servitor bot just came wandering in.
Yeah, we should
That's my
probably
program.
snipe these guys.
I've got to still get to a high enough vantage point. So that's what I'll try to do.
Can you stand on top of the spider and do it?
I don't know.
Is
He's at the northwest section though, whereas the spider's on the eastern section.
Can I access a log of the servitor bot's actions in the mesh to see if they have actions that require them to access the antimatter bomb area?
Yeah, they do not. They're being used for everything outside of the area.
Why
Okay,
don't you
so
just have these bots attack these guys first?
I mean, I definitely can. They are just service bots, though.
Or I can just go and sneak in and set up the bomb.
Okay.
I mean, how much of a major distraction do you need? I mean, if the bots kind of go haywire, will that be enough for you to do what you need to do?
The two of you on the northwest section, that would be Ellis and Gavin. I need you to roll perception checks.
Okay.
I failed mine.
Okay, yeah, I failed mine too.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I could have the service bots make a scene.
I think it might just be better if I infiltrate it. And we'll just
Why-
use them for backup.
I agree.
Okay. So what are you going to do, Leica?
I'm going to creep in there like a lizard and make my way, but I want to coordinate it with some kind of external distraction. I think that was originally the plan. But I want to make my way directly as possible, if I can, towards the antimatter bomb.
Well, you can sneak down right between those like four vertically lined buildings
Mm-hmm.
at the south end of the dome, and that'll bring you not too far away from the actual cache itself. You'll be able to see the bomb with your eyes. You can also see the four the scavengers there as well.
The four gray shoes men.
Yeah, they're night cartel scavengers. So
Mm-hmm.
as you're
Are they
doing
heavily
that,
armored or anything?
they are. Hold on. They have armor clothing on, and they're armed with automatic kinetic rifles. So actually, they're not as heavily armored. Well, they're about maybe equally, no, less heavily armored and less heavily armed than the four of you are at the moment, because you guys made that link up with the Barsimians, which is great. As you do so, you hear the crack of a sniper rifle, and then you hear three more cracks of three more sniper rifles coming from the west end of the dome. You guys all hear this. Chepe, Amir is on the exact opposite side of the dome at the moment. So basically that far west triangle, that far west breach point, that's where these cracks are coming out from. You guys at the northwest point don't realize how the hell you didn't see anybody approach there. But there are people firing from over there. Although when you look over, go ahead and roll perception checks.
Do you need me to roll?
No, just for just again for the two that are close by.
Ooh, nice. Good job, Andrew.
Yeah, I got like a 40 margin of success.
Okay, yep, you succeed well.
I got a 13, and my perception's 70.
Oh, you both. Oh yeah, you're on
I
the
can't
opposite.
tell what that is. It's zero
Oh,
something.
sorry.
You can
I
see
see
the
it all the way
flashes.
from the
You can see
opposite
the flashes.
side.
You see the flashes of the rifles from the opposite side, though.
Yeah.
And what did you get, David?
I don't know, zero something. I can't really. It looks like an 8.
Probably is an 8. Wow, that's
Yeah.
really illegible, isn't it? It must be an odd 8. Looks good. Wow, you both rolled really well. You can see the kind of flashing of the rifles. They are wearing chameleon cloaks and vac suits, and they seem to be in Olympian morphs.
Mm.
I don't even know what an Olympian morph is, but it sounds like a big badass morph.
Yeah,
When those
physical
sniper rifles went
specimens.
off, did they knock off any of those armed men?
Let me do a couple of quick rolls.
Guys, I'm thinking if they kill these guys in front of me, I'll just, throw a smoke bomb and then just head
Okay.
over there and activate that antimatter
So
bomb.
this is their kinetic weapons check. They are using. Am I reading this wrong? Yeah. Sorry, I take it back. I'm reading the wrong line here. You see the crack of one sniper rifle, and you see the other four morphs that you guys rolled your perceptions to see. They're actually running down, moving towards these guys in their chameleon cloaks, and they're firing kinetic SMGs. That
Oh,
makes
really?
more sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Apologize. I'm reading the wrong line here. No.
So, guys, this is that other faction coming into play, I would think,
And
right?
they don't hit shit, but they
Oh, right.
are firing SMGs at these guys as they're charging down. So this causes the scavengers to try and take cover and pull their own weapons. And in the meantime, the sniper thing, it's a sniper bot. It's like basically like a little flying kind of helicopter bot.
Yes.
And it has a kinetic railgun sniper rifle that is opening fire on the group. And it also misses, but it hits one of the what are those things called? The deactivated warbots, and does, Jesus Christ, 28 points of damage to that thing, and just fucking just blasts the shit out of it, and this bot falls over, and sparks are flying out of it. And
Oh shit! Is there a clear line of sight to the antimatter bomb?
line of sight.
Like, as in I could run there directly?
Oh no. because
Is
the
anyone looking for the bomb?
Scavengers are spread out around it at the moment, taking cover. You could run down to it for sure, but they would probably see you coming.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. How are they directed? Are they like two guys and two different, like there's four guys, two guys, or is there all four surrounding?
The two guys down below are fanned out south to north, basically. Two on each side of where the antimatter bomb is, and within about 10 meters of it.
I see.
The other four are coming down. Let me look at the map here. The other four are running down kind of to the south end of those two buildings there on the west side.
Right.
Charging down and opening fire kind of in between those buildings there. And the sniper bot itself is hovering right around where that breach is there on the west end.
Yeah, I would like to. Would it be possible for me to throw these smoke bombs in the path that I want to go to create like a bit of disguise for myself?
Absolutely, yeah.
Then that's what I would like to do, and I'd like to make my way to the antimatter bomb.
You start
And
throwing
hold
these
the.
smoke grenades.
That's right.
Okay. I think this would be a good time for everyone to roll initiative. So everyone roll
Alright,
a d10 and add your initiative score.
So my initiative score is 110 plus. Hold on, sorry, I used the cup.
Okay, the scavengers are on 56.
Plus 3.
The Olympians are on 70.
So I have 113.
Okay, I've got a 61 initiative.
They're on 70. I already worked that out. The 58 for the cartel. $41 for the sniper bot. What about the rest of you? What did you get, Andrew?
Actually, I got a 60 because I still have a -1 initiative, so I got a 60.
Sorry, 60. Cool, you're right.
Oh, yeah, I got a 59.
Ellis is on 59. And what is Spiderbot on? Amir?
For what?
Initiative?
Initiative, gotcha.
1d10 plus your...
I am 89.
Ooh. Okay, Leica, you go first. So you throw out your first smoke bomb and start to move down.
Creating a bit of cover. Would I be able to get to the antimatter bomb with this round?
No.
How far away am I?
Does it actually tell me a scale on this map? I don't think it does. It'd be nice if it did. I'm going to say, because you're trying to move stealthily and you're throwing a bomb at the same time, it'll take you 2 rounds. So you're
right,
halfway there this round.
I have a speed of 2, though.
That means you'll get 2 actions this round, so then yes, you will be able to get to it this round.
Okay.
Good call. So you're halfway there with your smoke bomb out. And 89 then is, it's Gavin. No, not Gavin. Who had the 89? Sorry, that was Spider-Man. Amir,
Yes.
why can't I not remember your name? Amir,
I'm trying to understand exactly where I'm at because I'm on the northwest side, right?
you are on the west northwest. Or no, I thought you were on the east side.
No, it's on the northwest side.
Oh.
I thought. Or did everyone else go around and I stayed east? Yeah, I stayed east.
Yeah, you stayed east side, so
Out on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, you're on the east side still.
So I'm not even sure if I see it. What I see. I rolled really well on the perception check.
You definitely see the muzzle flashes. You see the sniper rifle going off on the far west side, although you may not see what it's coming from. But you can see the muzzle flashes from the SMGs approaching the cache, and you can see the smoke to the south of the cache area as well.
Okay. So I enter in through the breach and then try to fire while I'm inside toward the demolitions, my SMG to try to spray on it, see if I can get it to ignite.
Okay, you're going to move your full distance away first and then blast it?
Yep.
Okay.
Try to hide behind that building that's right there from the breach.
Yeah, I see it there.
So that would be my submachine gun skill, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be 36 to... Where's my submachine gun skill?
Oh, this shit is about to get real.
Beam weapons. Where's my SMG?
It'd be kinetic weapons?
Kinetics. Oh, kinetics? Kinetic weapons, got it. 55. So yeah, I got 36 under 55.
Boom. There's a big explosion, guys, on the eastern wall of the dome. More panels that were intact come falling out of the sky and shattering on the ground below. And the wiring starts to give way on the east side. Huge explosion. Catches everybody by surprise, except for yourselves who were expecting it. And then it's the Olympian morphs. They're going to still keep charging down. Even if they're moving, they're only going to be halfway to the cache by the end of this round. They'll take some more shots anyway at the scavengers who are taking cover.
Are the scavengers covered under any of the smoke?
No, they're not covered by your smoke.
All right.
Okay, here we go. So that's their kinetic weapons. That's going to miss. That's going to hit. One of them hits for SMG, R10, 2d10 plus 3, 7, 13, 16 points damage. The armor takes away 4 of that, so it's 9 points damage to one of the Night Cartel guys, which gives him a wound. He's hurt. The third one misses, and the fourth one also hits for, again, 15, 16, 17, 18, minus 4 for 14 points damage, which gives 2 wounds to that guy. So another one of them is badly wounded. So the scavengers take a couple of hits. And it's Gavin's turn.
All right. Can I get a bead on the sniper bot that was flittering about?
Yes, you can see it.
Is it actively, does it appear to be lining up for another shot, or what does it appear to be?
Oh, it is, yeah. It's lining up for another shot on the scavengers.
Okay, I'm going to try to do a semi-auto burst on that
Right.
thing.
I can't remember what that does.
It's gonna get a plus D10 defensive bonus. Okay.
Just roll a d10.
A plus defensive bonus for it. Okay.
Right.
So its defense is gonna get a bonus, and then I have a 50% chance of hitting it. So it's just a 2 bursts. So.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. So I have a flat 50%. Well, it's not flat, but I have a 50% chance to hit is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I may use some moxie, so we'll see. So what is that? 50.
Dead on.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
So there you go. So the damage is burst use 3 shots of ammo. Actually,
one target, so it's plus 1 d10 damage value or a plus 10 attack modifier.
Okay.
Is what you get. So
okay.
You took the standard attack, so I'll give you the plus d10 damage value.
Okay. So the damage for the sniper rifle is 2d10 plus 10.
So you get
Plus
3d10 plus 10.
3d10 plus 10? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's 18, 28.
28.
Yeah.
Minus 6 for his armor value, so 22.
Okay.
His durability is, he's badly damaged. And does he have a wound threshold? He does. Holy shit, that does 3 wounds to the sniper bot. It's badly damaged. It's going to be a minus 30 to all of its attacks now.
Okay.
You fucked it up. It's
Alright.
smoke coming out of it. It's sputtering. It's losing altitude. It can't maintain a hover anymore properly.
Okay, Gavin's surprised. He kind of looks through the scope again, like he can't believe it.
Gavin feels like an action hero.
Right, and then he kind of shakes his head and grins at him. He's feeling himself.
Ellis, you see Gavin fucking lay down a few shots, boom, 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 and just plug this helicopter bot with a sniper rifle on it. It's sputtering and having a hard time maintaining altitude. Black smoke pouring out of it.
Do I have vision at all of the Olympian morphs coming down on the cartel?
Yes. You can
How
see.
How close are they to the service bots?
They're actually very close to the server bots.
Okay.
To a couple of the server bots. The server bots are spread all over, but they're very close to a couple of the server bots. They're like right almost in between the. Well, actually, they've just kind of passed those 2 buildings basically, because they came in from the west end.
Okay. How many service bots were there again?
I don't know if I ever actually said how many. Just at a number. We'll say there's 6 of them around. There's 2 of them in close proximity to where those guys are.
So you see Ellis, and she's completely focused on what she's doing. Everything else is just kind of a foggy blackness.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going Minority Report style, and she's she's using her hands to access this mesh HUD, and she's pulling out the 6 bots into different groupings, and she takes 4 of them and moves them to the side, and then pulls the 2 out that are in close proximity to the Olympian morphs. And she goes ahead and brings the command line back down and gives them orders to attack them.
Okay. So those 2 bots charge towards them. They don't have any proper firearms or guns or anything, so they're basically using like welding tools or slicing tools and just charging towards these guys and swinging them. They're like, what the hell's going on with these bots? Then it's the cartel's turn. There's still 4 of them alive. 2 of them are wounded. One of them has 2 wounds. The other has 1. So they're firing. Man, everything going crazy. There's a big explosion behind them. There's smoke popping up to their left. There's these 4 guys charging across the field in front of them. The bots are charging and attacking these guys. They're like, what the hell's going on? They're going to try to attack the Olympians anyway. That guy got a hit. So that's an @4. So that's going to hit for 2d10 plus 6 with his automatic kinetic rifle. So that's 11, 17 points of damage minus 7 for his armor. So 10 damage. It still gives him a wound. The second guy, this guy's at the -20, I'll say. Just misses. Third guy at -10 misses. And the 4th guy also fires and misses. So they're just exchanging fire back and forth. So now 2 of the scavengers are wounded, and 1 of the Olympians is wounded. And it brings us to the bot. The bot is badly damaged. He took, what did I say, 3 wounds? So he's at -30. He's still going to, actually, he's going to try to turn and open fire at Gavin, where the fire came from that hit him.
Okay. All right. 40 defense value.
Not even close. Not even close. Misses horribly. Just fires like 20 feet over your head. Like I said, it can't keep its bearing straight. And that's the end of that round. A lot of shit can happen in 3 seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep everybody's names here and just rewrite the numbers beside them. It'd be a bit weird way to track initiative. Let's try it. Okay, everybody roll initiative again.
Do we roll initiative again?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we roll initiative every round.
Okay.
So that's for the cartel.
We didn't take our second actions, though.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, stop. second action. Who has a speed of 2? Thanks, Chepe.
I do.
Anybody else?
I use
Okay.
my second action to get to the bomb, though.
One.
Okay, so you throw the other grenade and move up, and you can get right up into where the bomb is. There's smoke around. It's going to obscure their vision, although they can still get a chance to see you. But you get up to the bomb.
Okay.
Does anybody have a speed of 3?
No, I have 2, so I
You
still
have a
need
speed
to
of
do
2,
my
so you
action.
still get to do another action as well. You're right after Leica.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side of the building right now.
You are.
So I just try to move at max speed to head over toward where the Titan's cache is, trying to go in between the buildings on the other side.
Okay. Yep, so you're
Moving in and out through
around.
the brewery.
Okay.
Do I need to... Okay. So
What's your movement
what-
speed?
my movement speed?
Yeah.
What exactly is that on a sheet? I never found that.
MOV. It's
Your SPD?
Oh, speeds. No, speed is for
2.
actions.
Yeah.
There should be an MOV, isn't there? No, it's figured out something else. Oh, sorry, move. Sorry. Divided between action phases. Never mind. So I guess general movement is just 4 meters per turn walk or 20 meters per turn run. Really,
Okay.
that's it. It's just I would think certain people would have modifiers to that. But okay. So
I
you
can
move
I
20
can
meters.
try to run plus 20 on pneumatic tests, 1d10. Well, I can do try to use free running to get more distance. I think. Don't
Okay.
quote me on that, but that's what I think. That's what that
Okay,
means.
let's go for it.
All right. What is my free running?
So I'm assuming
75, 63. Which would be 65 because I'm still at a -10, right?
Okay.
Or am I not anymore? I don't know.
-10. No, you're -15 for physical actions. Body dysmorphia.
Okay, I'll spend a moxie to make it 36. And so I make it up there on the other side of the building so I can see smoke, I'm guessing, through the little alleyway because I'm going in through the north way.
You're going in. Oh, you're going through the alleyway?
Yeah, the north way toward the cache because I'm already inside, right? There's like 2 little rims, little gaps, like one on the north and one on the west for where the internet cache is, or for where the cache is.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Because there's 2 buildings conjoined by the.
Yeah, but you're still a long ways away from there because the way I'm doing it,
Oh, for...
each of these hexes is maybe I figured about 10 meters.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's
you
no way I
would-
reach there.
You would have basically, to set off those explosives, you were just at the kind of northeast corner there of that kind of double bubble building, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Do you see it
Yeah.
there? So if you want to go around that building, move another 20 meters, you're now kind of just at the north edge, just coming around the northwest corner on your speed 1 anyway. Not quite with a direct view anyway.
So I'm just now at the center of the habitat then.
Almost, not even. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool.
You'll be at the center of the habitat with your speed 2 movement. So that brings us to anybody else on speed 2 or 3? So that's next round.
Nope.
There we go.
That's Yep.
Cool. Sorry about
All right. Here's my initiative roll.
that. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with this combat sequence anyway.
So that is 116.
Ooh. God, leak is fast. The Olympians are on 68. The cartel is on 56. The bot is on 55. Did he get his -30 for initiative as well? Probably not. No. Say he's on 55. What about Amir, Gavin, Ellis?
61 initiative for me.
Okay.
85
85.
for Amir.
Ellis?
Amir.
58.
Amir.
Okay. So it's now the first action or first phase or whatever you want to call it. The first action phase, yeah, of turn 2. Leica, you're first. You have got to the bomb.
I will roll to set it to go off.
You want to try to set a detonator on it?
Can I not use my demolition skills to set it off?
To just set it off manually? Yeah,
Yep.
sure you can. Go ahead and roll.
All right, my
Go out.
demolition is. Let's see now. 60.
60. Great.
And he's still got a moxie.
That's all right. It's 23.
Boom! The antimatter bomb goes off, and everything within the dome of the habitat is completely obliterated.
Nice knowing you guys.
Your cortical stack is completely ionized. Was anybody outside of the dome? Yeah,
No,
you two. You two. Oh no, you went in. You went in to shoot the
Yeah,
thing.
when it, yeah.
I was still
Ellis
outside
is
the
still
dome.
outside. Ellis, give me a fray roll.
Oh god.
Just to see if you can manage to roll down amongst the sands and avoid the massive
You
antimatter.
still got Moxie.
What's my? Yeah, I'm gonna use my moxie to get rid of my, because I have a negative 15 still to physical.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to beat a 30. Here it goes, guys.
Piece of cake. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, either way you lose.
You dead?
Yep. Okay, you're all completely fried. Everybody is completely fried.
But we neutralize the threat, right?
Oh, you completely neutralize the threat, and you will be able to be restored from your backups. You'll have to be restored from your backups, though, because these cortical stacks cannot be retrieved. They're ionized completely.
No memories of any of this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Other than what
Ellis-
they choose to tell us, maybe.
Ellis won't remember the betrayal.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
right.
See, it says
I
here,
won't
like,
remember.
if you were to try to set up a detonator, it would take, I think, 30 minutes. Yeah, it takes 30 minutes to set up a detonator, but you just wanted to go up there and just instantly set it off? What the hell?
Yeah, that's it.
I figured, why not?
Boom.
We went out with a bang.
Because it says if somebody manually sets out the bomb, they can do so instantaneously because they don't have any time to get away. So,
There we go, boys. We won.
whew,
By limited.
Yeah.
transhumanity,
Won the
Again.
One by the Posey definition.
transhumanity is saved.
So
There we
much,
go.
so much plotting and taking special care, and then Phil just tackles the bomb and blows it.
Yeah.
That's.
Nobody will be
Well,
getting
I
their
think
hands on
this
those
is your
weapons.
game. Joe. You have infinite number of bodies to just expend on self-sacrifice.
Yeah, but don't we... Well, wouldn't there be some kind of... There would be more trauma, though, right? Again?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
There'd probably be
alright.
some trauma and...
Are we re-sleeping now?
no, that's the end of the session. I
Oh,
don't have anything else for beyond this.
I wanted to be a self-morph. That's cool.
That's great, guys, though. Even though it only lasted a turn, I feel much more comfortable now with the combat aspect of the game.
I actually understand how the combat works now. It's you do the first turn like a normal action, like similar to D&D. Then the next round, it's the highest initiative acts for you declare your actions. I think in reverse order or something like that, right?
Oh, I don't know about declaring actions. I think you only declare... Oh, wait, yeah. Step 1, roll initiative. Step 2, begin action phase. Declare and resolve actions. You just declare your action as you resolve it. You don't have to declare action until it's your turn.
Okay.
And then action phase, speed 2 goes the same, etc.
Oh, I thought it was the reverse declare action. That's why I
Slow
that's
people,
what I thought, 'cause
slow
it said
people
declare.
say what they're doing first, and then...
Nope, you
Faster
can declare
people
the
react
action
to it.
when it comes to your turn, so you can completely change your action when it comes to your turn.
Okay. Never mind.
No, I love that. That was brilliant.
Yeah, speed kind of has a Palladium edge to it.
And the
Fucking
Shadowrun
hell,
edge,
man.
too.
Yeah,
I still
about
haven't
that?
played Shadowrun yet.
Are you serious? Dude.
before we break down into talking.
What was
about
the defensive rules?
The
Frey.
defensive checks are fray checks. That's if you're.
Because it seemed like I thought every roll was like a opposed roll. That's what I thought.
There probably should have been actually. Yeah, ranged attacks they get half their fray. I forgot about that part. Ah
Still
well.
thought
Oh, as opposed to target number? Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's right because like you'd fire, and if they succeed, they still get half of their fray skill to try to dodge a ranged attack. So if they succeed as well, if their score, now granted, getting half of your fray skill and still rolling higher than the person rolled on their range attack is pretty low chance, but could happen.
Okay.
But yeah, cool. Before we can break off and talk about all kinds of other stuff after this, but let's just wrap this up real quick. I'll go around one more time. If you guys want to plug yourselves. Philip?
Hi, my name is Philip Posey, and I run the channel Maps and Dragons. I'm going to be starting a school soon called the Maps and Dragons School for people who can't roleplay good and want to do other stuff good too. So if that's something you'd be interested in, please come and join me. Take care.
David?
My name's David Sims. Got a channel, David Sims, and I guess the main thing on my channel right now is that I'm posting a 5e campaign that I'm running on Monday nights called the Copper Coast Tales, and it's a bunch of nice guys in the group that I'm sure you guys will recognize being on YouTube, and so it'd be nice if everyone checked it out. Thanks.
Chippe.
Hi, I'm Chippe. I have the channel Fontrodden, and I post stuff about weird niche gaming styles, games you haven't heard of, things you probably didn't care to think of, and also these random games that I try to get people to play.
Excellent. Andrew.
Something about Fate, too.
Oh.
I go by SR2 Joker on YouTube. Check it out. I do D&D, Palladium, and recently other stuff.
Cool. And I'm Ian. This has been Fantastic Dimensions. Thank you for watching. Check everybody out, and don't forget to drop by the Tabletop RPG One-Shot group if you want to play in games like this as well. I plan to do a lot more Eclipse Phase in the future. This is going to be my focus for 2015. My primary focus first is to try and learn the system and get better and better at it. And I've actually just volunteered myself to run at least one session of this at the next Brigade Con. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that coming up in October. So, thanks, guys.